A Court of Fairies and Fiction. Akafath Girls Podcast. Hosts Mel Liv and Akka. A bookish theory and discussion podcast for the Akatar, Crescent City, and Tug series, as well as other romantasy books. Special episode interview with Henry Kramer.
For insurance.
Professional.
Okay, let's start off with our favorite quote, which is, "Don't feel bad for one moment about doing what brings you joy." It's our favorite quote.
Don't feel bad for one moment
What better
for
to
doing
bring
what brings
joy
you
than
joy.
the amazing voice of Tamlin, but Henry Kramer.
Olivia, you're just like, I want to hear it again.
I was gonna say, Henry, can we do that one more time?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, you know what? Pickups, hold on.
Don't feel bad for doing that. Don't feel bad for one moment for doing what brings you joy.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna spontaneously combust. Be right back.
Fun fact.
That's amazing.
I am wearing Tamlin's mother's ring, the gold with the emeralds. We had a lot of questions about the ring too, but that's later.
A lot.
Funny question. Olivia, do you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. So for everyone who doesn't know, we are currently interviewing Henry Kramer. Big round of applause.
Hi.
He is the voice actor for Tamlin, and we are all so obsessed with him.
I do feel like we are the biggest Tamlin fans in the entire fandom, honestly.
Aww.
He has a removable mask. I got
needs glitter.
plushies on Etsy. She's so nice too.
Oh, that's adorable.
But yeah, I
love
asked her to make me a little tam with a mask, and she was really nice. I was so excited when I got it.
Ooh, at the end of this, I need to show you my Tamlin and Lucian plushies.
Yes!
Yes.
I heard about them.
They're so cute.
Absolutely.
But don't let me be a distraction more so than I've already been.
We distract ourselves too, like all
Yeah.
the time we go off the rails. It's fine.
Okay, we'll start.
Stay on topic. Okay, Olivia, go.
So we thought that we kind of just like each ask you questions, and we'll just kind of go through the list if that's okay.
Ask away in whatever order you like.
Love it. I'll start first. So we heard that you got into voice acting because of your parents, but did they have any specific pointers for you when you started voice acting?
Don't. That was their first words when I told them I wanted to be a voice actor. Are you sure? It's
What was the reason?
The amount of work you have to do as an artist, and especially as a voice actor, in finding material, finding a space that you can use, getting good equipment, finding the hours in which you can, in your day-to-day life around your other job, record, finding authors that you work with, finding a paymaster that you trust, making bills and ends meet, while also recording and having a life, and just voice acting is one of the most time-consuming jobs compared to like theater or film acting, because it requires absolute silence and perfect diction. You can't cover up anything in post. If something happens in the background, you have to retake, and the amount of times that I have been waylaid on a project because someone decided to run a leaf blower or a lawnmower for half a day
Oh man.
has driven me to the point of insanity. So my parents' first words for me were, "Are you sure?" But their next words were, "If you're gonna do it, prioritize quality above all else.
Mm-hmm.
Be the best you can be." Because even if you're late on a delivery, if you have to choose between rushing and being sloppy or being late and doing something well, always choose to do something well.
Yeah.
Because the client will always be forgiving when your quality is superior.
Excellent advice.
And it's true.
I have a funny little tiny mirror for that. My sister, she's 17. I'm a lot older than my siblings. And she is adamant that she wants to be a police officer like my parents. And my mom is like, you do not want to be a female police officer. She's like, don't do it. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. My sister's like, I'm doing it. She's like, you're not doing it. And it's just funny because I'm like, she's gonna do whatever she's, if she really wants to do it, she'll make it work. She's a good kid. And it's just, I think with like political climate and everything that's been happening, my mom's, obviously very worried about that. And my mom's a female police officer. She actually works in the same department as me.
Ooh, fun.
And different hours, different shifts. Luckily, she works day shift. But yeah, she knows, how
I think it's one of those things where you grow up raising a kid who looks up to you and wants to take after you, and you know everything that happens behind the scenes, and you know how what can go wrong.
Yeah.
So I think if your instinct, because this is from my experience as being the eldest son taking up his family's craft, the first people to say, like, are you sure, or to quote unquote doubt me, were my parents. But that just proved to, at least to me, that no, even if my parents don't approve, I'm still going to do this for me.
Yeah.
And I think once I broke through to them of like, hey, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. That's when, okay, well, and then they get all the tips, the pointers, like all like the minutia advice when it comes to running a business or just vocal techniques. That came next. But I think it's proving to your mentors that you will continue even when discouraged. That's when admiration and that's when your true passion for the craft begin.
It's just very funny because I always said, like, I would never go into law enforcement. I'm never going to work with you guys. I don't want to have anything to do with that. And I ended up a dispatcher in the same department. Like, my dad's a detective. My mom's a cop. I'm a dispatcher. My sister wants to be a cop. And then,
God, you couldn't get away with jack shit, could you?
I was the most sheltered child. Like, aside from Olivia, I was the most sheltered child ever.
I only gained my life experience because I was a sheltered child and I wanted rebellion.
I couldn't rebel because it was against the law, and I would have gotten them in trouble.
Books are my only friends.
Oops.
But also, I also relate to the leaf blower thing because if you can't tell, I have blackout curtains because I sleep during the day.
No, they're
It makes my eye twitch.
Oh God.
People are annoying.
If do not let me go on my rant. If I do, we will be here for hours.
Leaf blowers, snow blowers.
Don't let
everything.
me get started. Don't let me get started. Ooh.
All right. Question 2 then. Is there any routine that you do before voice acting?
Yes, there is. If we're talking about just like day-to-day stuff, my usual rhythm is physical exercise of some kind, whether it's like walking the dog or going to the gym, just so I can warm up and get my whole body loose, because that unlocks a lot of the facial muscles, like up in the nasal cartilage, and gets your resonance bones nice and vibrating. But specifically a good 15 to 30 minutes before I go, I'll usually drink a hot beverage. Sometimes it's tea, mostly it's coffee with water, so I can hydrate.
A lot of coffee.
It should be tea. Honestly, it should. I just love coffee more.
Just give us the espresso.
The beans, brother. The beans. But I'll do vocal warm-ups for a good 5-10 minutes just so my lips are nice and like. Or, and weirdly enough, I have found if I play video games and talk shit, it's the same as doing vocal warm-ups. So I get to have fun, and I get to, like, I will play video games in online lobbies and do a voice for all the call-outs that I do, and people are like, wait, what the fuck? Hey, nice voice changer, bro. It's not my voice, Herman.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I am that guy in your fucking COD lobby or Rainbow Six.
Oh my God,
I'm
that's
that
awesome.
guy.
Nice.
Pardon me for 1 second. Let me just slip into another voice real quick.
Let me change hats.
I'll say, oh boy.
Can you imagine just like instantly logging on? This guy's over here. They're like, holy shit, it's Henry Kramer.
Yes, because I've grown up around gamers.
Have
They do
you?
this all the time.
Oh,
They
I
do
didn't
this
know
all the
that.
time. It's
I don't take
nothing new.
myself seriously. What?
See,
You think, oh, I'm Henry Kramer. No, dude. I don't take myself seriously at all.
this
I'm
is
a
what us
nerdy
sheltered
nerd who
kids
loves to
don't
cook, bake,
understand,
and play
Eka.
video games, dude.
We were not
No.
rebellious, sadly.
Oh, we don't
We're just the good kids. We did nothing wrong ever.
Mhm. It's the good ones you gotta watch
Chat
out
in like
for.
30 minutes. Tell me all the tea. Pour all the tea.
I actually
We just
wish I
need,
had
like, the
tea. I'm
cereal.
so lame. I'm like actually the lamest person on earth, but like I have no fun stories.
Oh no. No, we are not going down that road, people.
What, the cereal?
No, the cereal's good. Not fun stories with Melanie. I know.
You're just making me more interesting. Keep talking.
Oh, sorry.
adding
Take
to our
the-
lore.
take the out.
Okay, based off of that one though, real quick, what about superstitions? Because you feel like a superstitious person, kind of.
No dairy before going in the booth.
100%.
Lactose intolerance is a bitch.
No
But
ice
also,
cream, no cheese.
no greasy or spicy food or anything that would cause tummy rumblings, because there's nothing worse than, and I swear I will.
Yeah.
And you have to go back and start all over, get yourself worked up, get the emotion. It's so.
Imagine someone imagine someone calling 911 that their son overdosed and you just want to go to the bathroom. Like you don't care. I can't leave my seat when I'm at work. I'm alone most of the time. I can't leave my seat to pee or anything.
You can't even take like a cell phone or a little earpiece with
No.
you, so you can like like.
No.
Yes, 911. How can I help you?
No, I would have to like call someone back, and like that's too humiliating for me, so I can't.
Honestly, I would view it as a power move. Hey, a person whose entire job it is to run towards trouble, I need you to sit in my seat for 30 minutes because I need to shit.
The guys have no trouble. The guys have no trouble saying that like over the air. Not that, but they'll be like, take me off the board for 30 minutes. I'm on admin. I'm like, you ain't on fucking admin. You're in the bathroom.
That's admin. That's admin.
It's the administrative commode, short for admin.
I'm like, why can't I ever go on admin for 30 minutes?
Because you're a coward and you lack the self-discipline to call people out on their shit.
But
I love it.
But to be fair, you're not allowed to sit in the chair if you're not 911 certified, and there are only a couple cops that are, so that makes it very difficult.
Damn.
So I can't
I would just
just
imagine you order just like one cop on each side of you, like fucking bodyguards, just hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Like, yes. Watch the phone, will you, boys? Mommy has to go make an important phone call.
They will run toward a car chase, but you ask them to sit in the dispatch seat for 30 seconds and they will break out in a sweat. I'm like,
Good. It's good for them. Builds characters.
To be fair, the fear of lawsuit can put the fear of God into anyone.
I know. They're like, I'm not certified for this. I'm like, give me 10 seconds to pee, okay? Just sit. You don't have to do anything.
You need a porta potty. You need like one of those porta potties.
In the room.
Oh God, I
Yes.
just thought of something dark. Depends.
Oh my God. No,
Oh, man.
no. It doesn't help that it's like there's no windows or anything. Like it's literally like a bunker.
Oh no. Oh
It's yeah, there's
God.
recycled
Oh,
air.
no. Just
It's
no.
awful. It's awful.
No.
And I would never even like use that bathroom either because I don't want to think about it. I just don't want to think
Moving
about
on. Moving on.
Is it under the mountain?
The mountain of toilet paper.
it.
Yeah.
There's literally a sign that someone put up that's like, please check your flushes or double flush because people are gross.
Oh,
I'm like,
Ew.
I'm not using any bathroom that these guys are using ever.
Just spray that shit down with Lysol. Let's keep
I
it.
just, I walk into, oh my God, I wish I had my bag in here, but I put my own Febreze in my bag and I bring it
Do you
with,
have the poopery?
I use unicorn glitter.
I love that. That's awesome.
It's so nice.
oh my God. I walk in and it just smells like BO because we have like younger guy dispatchers and they're disgusting.
Oh, you mean the
Keyboard
guys
is
who only
greasy.
like drink coffee and eat buffalo wings and that's it?
Yeah, and then they type on the keyboard and it's all greasy and I'm like, and I'm like,
At least they don't use Axe. At least they don't use Axe. That was
I remember middle school.
Yeah.
No thanks. No thanks.
no.
I remember middle school and high school.
I'm good.
We went so far off the rails already.
Eka, do you want to ask the next
Feral
question?
goblins.
For the life. Oh my God.
I'm also not helping at all.
It's fine.
It's all good.
We're just vibing. We're just vibing. It's all
We're
good.
just
Having
vibing.
fun here.
Let's just vibe.
Oh man. So I'm kind of nosy. How far in advance do you get the script for the next book?
Usually I get it about a month in advance.
Nice.
Ooh.
In
Anything
some
yet?
cases when it's
Good
like
to know.
in some cases when a part I get is like smaller, like for like a little cowboy thing or whatever, I'll get it like 2 weeks before if it's just a bit part. But the bigger the role, typically the more in advance, at most a month is what they'll typically give me.
Anything yet? Darn.
She's like,
Trust me, I am
She's like-
waiting for the day when they're like, "Hey,
Hey.
Henry,
we got a book for ya.
I mean, I've already done the new Crescent City.
It's Crescent City.
Which, by the way, I don't know if I told someone this wrong, but I looked it up just to make sure because I always mix up Declan and Flynn. I play Flynn.
Yes. Oh
I
my
play
God,
Flynn.
I love Flynn. I love Flynn. Okay, that's perfect. That's actually really perfect with one of our theories. I think you guys are thinking what I'm thinking.
Wait. Oh, Lynn, he's the one with the southern drawl, right?
No. Yeah. No? Yeah. Maybe.
No.
Flynn
That
does not have
one.
a southern drawl.
That
Flynn is
theory,
closer
okay.
to my customer service voice.
No, Flynn is the one
Okay.
with the spring court magic.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
With the sister.
Okay, all right, we gotta ask these
Makes the
questions.
plants
Now we're in.
grow.
I wonder.
So that brings us to kind of our next question. First of all, have you met or talked with Sarah J. Maas before?
Directly.
Unfortunately, not. Sarah did hear my auditions when I initially auditioned for ACOTAR and gave me signed me off for Tamlin, but I never got the privilege to talk with her in person. So no.
Okay.
I would like to.
Well, yeah,
I think we'd all like to.
Fantastic job. Like, I would very much like to talk to Sarah. If you're listening to this, me, coffee. Let's chat.
Let's get a book on the books.
I love it.
We
let's
stay
do that.
needing one. Oh my god. So how did you hear about the ACOTAR Tamlin audition? And was he who you initially wanted to play?
I actually heard about it through Colleen Delaney, who is one of the casting directors and senior members of Graphic Audio. I was an actor in their roster, and they put me up for the audition. Originally, I was supposed to, I auditioned for 3 parts. Tamlin, as you know, Rhysand,
Ooh.
and my baby
Ooh.
boy Lucian.
Lucian. I knew about Lucian, but I didn't know about Reese.
I was almost everyone's favorite gold-eyed, lovey boy.
Our little
I
autumn
was
boy,
almost
our
baby boy
little autumn
Lucian.
fox.
Yeep. No, I was almost him.
Oh my
But when I was doing my Tamlin audition, it was the end of a very long day, and I've been trying out different voices. And then I went, you know what? This is too much in my chest. Let me just drop my voice.
And then it was
Yeah.
like, yes, the beast, you
Hey,
got it.
Literally, this is just my voice without going into my chest. This is all diaphragm right here. This is my
love it.
natural voice.
Yeah.
You sound so
It's-
fluffy, like I want
When
to
I,
brush
so-
when I am relaxed, this is how I sound. However, for ease of talking communication, this is the voice I typically use.
That was like Tamlin in beast form laying in the sun lazily voice.
Pet my belly. Give me scritches. Call me a good boy.
I'm gonna make that my new ringtone.
There was enough pause between the beginning and the end. You can splice that, and I do give you consent.
Yeah,
Hey, send it to me once you splice it because I want it to.
right.
I will send it to both of you.
That needs to
I
be
think
on a
it-
shirt.
yeah,
Pet
I
my
think a
belly, give me
certain
scritches,
someone.
call me a good boy.
They're like, why? Why does it say that when it rings?
We will know.
Oh,
I know. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you want to take it? Yeah.
Is Eka doing it? Okay.
Yeah.
You got it?
She's like, wait, yes.
Where are we?
7.
We're
Oh,
such a
great. This is my
clusterfuck.
question.
It is.
Okay, so
Long.
I thought long and hard about this one. What was the evolution behind giving a description about Tamlin versus reading Tamlin? And after having read all the Tamlin scenes and becoming that character, what were your initial thoughts versus canon?
My initial description of Tamlin was that he was a warrior prince. He's a soldier who became a reluctant leader. And so, based on that, I had to craft a voice for him where he was refined but rough. He had the proper enunciation and eloquence of a lord with the brutality and forcefulness of a soldier. That colored how I initially started voicing him.
I love that.
So, like Dracula.
Kinda, except less, oh, I'm so evil, and more, fuck yeah, me and my boys. You can't find, if Dracula played the fiddle, would you find him half as terrifying? No. Tamlin plays the fiddle. He's with the boys, throwing it down at the local pub.
Lucian, don't be an ass. I love that.
But as the canon went on, and more of who Tamlin was, a fighter and supporter of humans, a protector, a leader, a lover. As all of that came out and changed and shaped his voice, it also led me to understand his decisions of, hey, this is a guy who is obviously dealing with great and terrible loss
Oh, yeah.
and doesn't know how to deal with it. And not only that, he's in a position where he cannot ask others for help. It is not expected of a High Lord to help. He was never supposed to be High Lord. Him becoming the reluctant High Lord because he doesn't really act like the autumn or the summer or the night court leader. Like all
He's
of
a
them
pro.
have a certain panache or air of, for lack of a better term, regalness that
Flourish.
separates them from the lower classes. Tamlin's High Lord persona to me has always been less of a, oh, I am a noble, and more of a, I am a soldier doing a job and you will adhere to the rules, and if you don't, I'm going to solve this the way I was taught.
100%. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
Well, he's not just a guy. He's a soldier with PTSD, and
Yeah.
I've got friends
Yes.
in the military, and like that shit
Yeah.
hurted. Like
A lot of people forget that in book 1 that it says that Tamlin had to literally feel the deaths of all of his sentries. People always forget that. Like that is obviously going to affect him.
and side note, having to send his best friend to get got on hit, like I can understand sending a soldier under your command to
Yeah.
do a mission that you know is suicide. But sending your best friend to purposefully die like a sacrificial lamb in order for you to unlock the criteria to force yourself to fall in love with someone?
That killed him.
And open your heart after they did that?
Yeah.
That took a level of, that earned Tamlin my respect of, he is task oriented.
Yeah.
You give him a problem that he can fix, he'll fucking do anything to fix it.
He's gonna fucking fix it.
He is. Sorry, I don't want to get too distracted. Just I got
You're
a
fine.
soft
You're fine.
spot
We're
for
all
him.
into it.
Please rant about
we love
him.
this.
We
Well, 'cause
love
it's
him.
like and continuing my little rant, I can't help but sympathize and empathize with him because
Always.
he's in a situation where he doesn't want to be, and he's making the best of it, and he's trying, and at every turn, all of his best efforts get used against him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on
And
top of that,
He
he's
gets dumped via text.
Yeah.
He couldn't read or write a month ago.
With autocorrect.
Ooh.
You hit the spot for us there.
I'm sorry. She couldn't tell him in like.
Still,
and I'm
still
sorry.
to this day.
I'm sorry. Just like the amount of shit I've like, just
Mhm.
me as the voice actor, as the
Yep.
character, like you didn't really have to do all that. Like, if you couldn't see past your pettiness to realize that Tamlin was and still is military and probably had a plan, do you think maybe destroying his entire forces and breaking him might not be the smartest rule or thing to do?
Somebody rants about this. But even on top of that, the fact that Tamlin wasn't taught how to rule and only had his sadistic father as like the role
He
model.
wasn't even taught how to use the High Lord's power.
Yeah.
Like
His father didn't
Rhysand
even
knew
have
how to harness
shape-shifting
that
power.
shit. The Summer Court knew how to harness that shit. Tamlin was never taught by his father how to harness the Spring Court's magic and power.
Yes.
He barely uses it at all. All he uses is basic shape shifting and a little bit of winnowing. That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any of the growing shit. He doesn't do any of the transformation shit. He doesn't do any of the summoning stuff, which
There's
I'm
so many
fully convinced
questions
that
about
Spring
that.
Court can do that. He doesn't do any of that because A, he doesn't know how, and B, I firmly believe he doesn't want to. He doesn't need or want all this, but he's doing the best he can.
He will
Does
with
that
his mate.
excuse some of his actions? Absolutely not. Does he need therapy? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I think he and Feyre should be together? Hell no. They have the same type of problem. They are avoidant. They do not talk about their problems. They wait for other people to talk.
Yes. Which is the only reason why she was Reese's mate, because every time that she has an issue, what do? They use the Daemati. They don't actually speak.
He's like, let me read your mind. Because
Let me just read your mind and solve the problem.
And she's just like, oh, that's convenient.
How convenient. I mean, but yeah, like Tamlin, like he likes the humans and he is trying his best. And
with a human. Rhysand fell in love with a fae.
Yeah. And he rejects everything that his father was. So for both like the fandom and the characters in the book to turn and be like, he's just like his father, it drives me mental. It drives me mental.
Well,
because he's
it's also
nothing
easy for him to be painted in that light. Because
painted.
We only you see what I was going there. Fun fact, we hardly ever see things from Tamlin's perspective. And it's also shown in the fact that Tamlin isn't connected with any of the other courts. He doesn't have correspondences with anyone. He is isolated and alone.
That's why he needed Lucian.
My baby boy, Lucian.
Baby Lucian.
Come back to me.
The little fox.
Come back, Lucy Lou.
Come back.
Oh, that scene where he sees Lucian in the leathers just guts me every time.
I just said that the other night when we were filming. I go, that I physically have a reaction and I want to start crying.
It doesn't break me, but it's more of a, I see.
God.
So this is where you've chosen to make your canon.
It breaks us. We talk about that scene where we think about all the time when Tamlin walks in and I cried when I read that scene because I did because such a betrayal in those Illyrian leathers. I mean, when you read that, Henry, like, tell me, were you like gutted? Like, poor Tamlin.
I know.
It was, as someone who growing up was often bullied and found out that the people I thought were my friends weren't, it gave me flashbacks to like elementary, middle school, and I'm like,
hit the nail on the head.
You know that feeling where you see something and your head is the only thing that seems to stay the same, and the entire world seems to pivot, and you feel like your body is turning upside down while your heart is sinking into your stomach, and you just feel cold.
It feels like being in a fishbowl.
Exact. A fish. Oh God! It feels like being in a fish bowl that's being shaken by that one chick from Finding Nemo.
What's her name? Dora? Not Dora.
Oh my God, I hate that chick.
Wake up! Why are you sleeping?
And then when Lucian's just like, Tam, and then it's like, can't deal with it right now.
Just the amount of sadness and rage that I felt as Tamlin, which also it's very clear to say, I always keep a level of myself away from the character.
Yeah.
You can't get lost in the sauce.
Oh, of course.
Because that's method acting, and method acting is bullshit.
But it'll drive you crazy.
The nail on the head with the mirror to like the bullying and how people can relate to that scene.
It's like, I thought 100%. You were my friend. I thought I could. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, it looks like I just have to cut you off then.
It's like we both know
Yes.
how rotten this one person was, and we bonded over that, and then you drop me for that person. And so then you're talking shit about me with that person. And like I've been through that too. And it's like literally the worst feeling ever.
It's
It's one of those things where it showcases in that moment because he has no entourage.
no, not anymore.
It's
Nobody.
just him. And when he like, and if I may elaborate more, one of the things that I always feel vindicated about in that scene is when he's talking about how he's like, you thought I didn't have a plan with Highburn. You thought that I was just going to lay over. You thought that I wasn't going to use my troops to stage a counterattack while Highburn extended his forces. I was in the fucking military.
I told you I would always fight against tyranny. Do you think you are enough to turn me from that? Gold.
Power.
That
Fucking gold.
right there. I was like, vindication.
Fucking gold.
Tamlin's always been a G. He always will be a G.
Yes, yes.
That's my PTSD Prince right there. That's my boy.
Just the way that it bothers me, the way that how from book 1 to book 3 and all of Feyre's weird phases, she consistently would say, oh, Tamlin notices everything. Tamlin has a strategy for everything. And then suddenly the end of Akamath comes, it's oh, he's a traitor. You're not even gonna think about anything that you already knew about him. Like, he wore the bandolier to show you not a traitor. But you fucking stole it from him instead. Like, this girl doesn't think, and it drives me crazy.
It's one of those things where I am reminded, because of that, Feyre is an illiterate 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about this. This is what I want to hear from you.
Okay.
So frequently on the podcast, we talk about Feyre and what she did to Tamlin. Okay. And I think the three of us can agree that we feel like it was completely unnecessary to take down his court. It was as an ally. It was horrible to break up with a note like you had mentioned because she was illiterate. She couldn't even read or write. He didn't know that. Can you talk to us about your thoughts on what Feyre did to the Spring Court, the breakup? We want to hear, what are your thoughts on Feyre and how she handled Tamlin? And you girls can expand on the question if you want.
Yeah, I have an expand, but yeah.
So my thought process was, this is exactly what a 19-year-old girl would do. Dump the person that she did not vibe with and show and swear utter loyalty to the guy who always had an answer for everything and seemed to read her mind.
Sweet talking.
And then just to show that she was like, oh no, baby, I'm so over him, ruin his life and his home. It is completely, at least in my opinion, as an actor, within Feyre's character to do this. She is moody. She is petulant. She is still a teenager. She can't even drink liquor in the States yet. How are we supposed to expect her to understand the minutia of military stratagem and the ye old double cross?
And political titles. What the heck?
Yeah, this is why she shouldn't be a high lady yet. But
added to the fact that the way she disrespectful. Tamlin deserved at least a voicemail.
Yes.
Send a missive. Send a messenger.
Send like a magical something
who can at least communicate with a tone of voice and some fucking body language, and not just. By the way, her handwriting.
I'm fine. Don't look for me.
Her handwriting must have been atrocious. Some scrawled shit that a third grader goes, "I dump your ass."
Meme about that on my Instagram where it's just totally illegible, and it's like, how does anyone think that her letter was able to be read?
Scratch.
Oh my god. I have like a little Lucian thing kind of that connects to that. But when Lucian found her in the woods, and when she does her whole darkness and whatever, as if he doesn't know darkness, The fact that yeah, the fact that Lucian is brilliant as well, but the fact that he actually did think that she was being manipulated there, I don't know whether that was a little OC or what, because he tells her later, like, oh, I went back and I told Tamlin, like, yeah, she's being manipulated, so let's go ahead with the plan at Highburn. And then she kind of uses that against them as well. But in what world would people not think that she was being manipulated? Like, even Reese
If
should
she
have
had
known
been
better.
reading and writing from the get-go,
Yeah.
I feel that Tamlin might have thought, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, curse is broken. I guess I could go out and mingle and because I'm
I don't
single.
really need you.
But like
Yeah.
it's also the fact that she disappeared on their wedding day
Yeah.
and she never got to like tell him in person that she was over him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Because
you went
from
over.
my perspective, if I had spent millennia fighting for humans, trying my best to break a curse, which me just existing as some sort of weird sexualized object for this creepy older
Fucking right.
redhead, and finally breaking said curse, marrying the person who I think loves me, who I have at the very least, if not love, trauma bonded with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
fairly certain Henry, would move hell and heaven and earth itself to get them back.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident I would be willing to make that deal with the proverbial devil just to make sure that me and mine are safe. Because,
Exactly.
as I'm sure many people in the military, the armed forces, or public service understand, by any means necessary,
Mm-hmm.
to the fullest and utter extent of your capabilities,
Yeah.
will you finish this mission and do your job, so swear you to God.
Right.
Do you think that Lucian taking the ring pieces and not telling Tamlin about that had to do with a lot of his with a lot of his anger about that? Because we love Lucian, but that was a very bad move. And
That was a little.
I
I
feel like
think
he should have told him, look, I found the ring pieces. Maybe she doesn't want to be engaged to you anymore.
I think it was done
Possibility.
out of fear.
Really? You think
It was
fear and not love?
both. I think.
I
Yeah.
think Lucian was afraid of what Feyre's rejection would do to
Yeah.
Tamlin.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, everything between Lucian and Tamlin has a borderline minimum level of love. They are battle brothers. They are sworn. They are family.
Yeah.
That will never go away.
Brothers. Yeah.
I personally am convinced that even in Tamlin's heart, still to this
Oh,
day, current
yes.
book, he still considers Lucian family.
Oh, of course. That's why he was so hurt.
But I'm firmly convinced that Lucian thought he was trying to spare Tamlin heartache.
I think so.
He does.
Because
Yeah.
that was his mother's ring.
I know.
And okay, just and hear me out.
Yeah.
I say this as a recently married man who received the engagement ring he gave to his fiancée from his mother-in-law, which was an heirloom piece.
Mhm.
Imagine if, and that was just adjacent, but imagine if your mother's ring
Mhm.
was sundered by your fiancé out of choice. How broken would that make you?
Yeah. That's why I'm
Tamlin
like,
has
Of
more control than
metalwork,
I would.
of jewelry, of stonemasonry, of crafting and artistry, rent out of petty pride and anger,
yes.
I'd be distraught.
I don't think
That's one of the few things Tamlin has left of his mother, one of the few good parental figures he had in his life. Because Amarantha wasn't going to be a good one. His dad wasn't going to be a good one. Highburn wasn't going to be a good. It was just
Ianthe
his
isn't going to be one.
mother.
It's like,
They were the sources of kindness and joy and family that he had, and he was willing to share that. And it was literally torn apart.
He
By
let
their own
go. I remember he let go some of his hold on his glamour to show his true self. And it is in canon. Ferris says he did it for me. Yes, bitch, he did.
yeah. But I still, to this day, don't think he knows that Lucian has the ring. I don't think he knows
Oh
what
God,
happened to it.
no.
He doesn't
You
know what
don't-
happened to it. And Lucian's like, that's why I'm like, is he gonna have like Nuon fix it and then come and give it back to him as a sign of
Honestly, that's what I'm hoping.
That's what we're saying. Like, I
Do you-
want
do you-
to give him
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Olivia.
Do you think that we will see that ring kind of come into play later on in later books, or will it come back around maybe?
I view that ring a bit like Narsil Blade of the West. It is a lore-heavy item that has been shattered and rent, that at a time of great crisis can be shown whole again and imbue the bestowee, or the receiver, with great power and courage, whether it be real or imagined. I would like to think that Lucian is currently working on the ring. Just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but Miss Moss might just have a reason.
Sarah.
She might
I
just
gotta-
have a reason.
Please,
I'm not at
Sarah.
liberty to say. I have not read the script for the next book yet, but I don't know how important it is, and Lucian may just be keeping it because it's like it is all that remains of the broken promise that he made to Tamlin.
And as an I'm sorry, like I feel like Tamlin when he's very hurt, as we know, they had a little brawl. He wants nothing to do with you anymore. I feel like this would be kind of a token of, okay, can we
This
see if
this
we
would
can
like this is definitely setting the scene for a peace offering.
Yes.
Tamlin very much is an all or nothing kind of guy, which I can
Oh,
respect.
yeah.
I can respect.
Yeah. But
I have an idea for a theory.
What is it?
But it relates to a question. So let me state the theory.
Okay.
But
So-
I really I feel like Lucian's relationship to Nuon is very underrated. I feel like we haven't seen him speak to her on page yet. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he's talking to her about getting the ring back in its former shape. And you guys know who I ship Nuon with, but that's another thing. So
Well,
All
the
I can
ring.
say is we will have to wait and see, which is the worst.
we
part of
had so
this.
many questions about the ring. It was so funny. I'm so glad you got brought it up.
So about the ring,
Yeah.
about other objects. What if this, instead of the dread trove, this is a reincarnation trove?
Hmm. Hmm.
He was just saying like maybe it had powers in it, so maybe it does have some of his mom's powers, kind of like how, what was it, Goldrin had power for Aelin or whatever, and it was generational.
I mean, spring is often associated with renewal and birth, so it. All I know is that Tamlin has not exhibited any world-shattering spring court powers, so it's being left purposely vague. So I'm personally keeping my fingers crossed that a certain Fae who got shot in book 1 might be able to come back.
We gotta ask the question.
Okay. So do you think Tamlin has reincarnation powers, whereas Nesta has Lady Death powers?
I haven't seen any exhibit of that. I think if Tamlin did have access to reincarnation powers, he would have used them. I think if he does, he doesn't know it.
Can I interject really quickly about that theory that I just thought up the other day? So I was going over the scene where he helps bring back Reese from the war. And so before he does that, when Feyre's begging the High Lords, Helion says to her specifically, like, it doesn't work this way, because she's saying, just give your seeds like you did for me. And he says, it doesn't work that way. So my brain ran with like, okay, what if they were doing it just as a show of like, okay, we'll try just to show her that we're trying as an act of goodwill. But what if it really was only Tamlin that resurrected him?
Uh-huh. Come on.
We're waiting for the tea, sir.
Because I
All I'm gonna say is that they needed everyone.
I was like,
and if Tamlin really was as bad as they say, he would have said, "Fuck y'all, I'm out."
Should have said no.
But you want. By the way, and this is my favorite 3 words in all of the ACOTAR series.
Be happy, Feyre.
Be happy, Feyre.
It is the core and crux of what he wants and who he is.
Yes.
I'll say it first. Tamlin, way bigger man than Rhysand.
Exactly.
In more ways than one. Fuck a wingspan.
Yes!
Where's the
Hamsters!
fluffy boy at?
Yes!
By the way, Olivia's screen is frozen on her face, just going, I'm dying.
Frozen?
Yes, it is. It's hilarious.
Hey, guys.
So
Your face was just frozen and like,
That's awesome.
it was amazing.
Hearing you say that just made my day.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times we collectively have fought over that exact principle? And everyone's like, Rhysand's the bigger man. He's better. We go to bat for Tamlin online all the time. And the amount of hate that we get.
Battle scars, man.
Battle scars.
Yeah.
And people call us like abuse apologists and just horrible names all the time. But to hear you say that you think Tamlin was a bigger man makes me so happy.
Yeah.
100%. Look, it's real easy to say, ooh, Bat Boy is so hot. Bat Boy's so good.
Right.
You completely ignore all of the problematic shit that comes with his territory. Mind reading, manipulation, moving people around, and completely undercutting Feyre's self-agency after the pregnancy.
Yeah.
However, no one addresses that because, ooh, he's so hot. And ooh, he swooped in and saved. Which, to be fair, he did. Good on him. He does have good intentions. Doesn't excuse his actions, though. Just like it doesn't excuse Tamlin's actions. Both characters are culpable for their own trauma and the trauma they inflict on others. This is not a statement on me saying that what Tamlin has done when he lashed out was okay. Lashing out is never okay. Find a good venting way to get rid of your emotion and rage. Sorry, not get rid of, that's the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But to put this in perspective, from Tamlin's POV, fiance ghosted him at the altar. The person who killed his family swooped in and took her. Ex-fiance then destroys his reputation, destroys his home, destroys his means of living, denounces him, degrades him, ruins any plans he had, military stratagem or otherwise, to try and help, belittles him, demeans him, steals his best friend and his own shit, breaks up with him via shitty text, begs him.
With autocorrect.
Begs him to save the man who cucked him. I'ma say it right now. Those horns on that wolf ain't just regular. Them's cuck horns right there. He got cucked.
Yes.
Okay, not to make you even more angry.
And considering He's military, royalty, with PTSD and trauma from being sexually objectified as a
Yes.
child,
Yes.
abused by his father, never shown proper love, and wasn't able to grow up in a stable and happy household.
Hunted by his mother.
And yet, what he says,
Be happy, Feyre.
That's why we love him. That's why we love him.
problems, who doesn't? If we decry him for having problems, what hope do I have because I've got problems? I have to have hope for Tamlin because if there's hope for him, there's hope for me.
High Lord Tamlin defense team.
Wow,
That was perfection. Yes.
Amazing.
well done. Well said.
And
Well
not
said.
and not to make us any more upset, but based off of that question,
We're passionate.
Tamlin leaves that off with, like you said, be happy, Feyre. What does Rhys then go and do in Akathas?
Yes. Can we talk about that scene with you real quick?
Twice, 2 scenes.
Yeah.
And then he claims, I'm trying to make him better. I'm trying to make him better. No, the fuck you aren't. No, the fuck you aren't. You're trying to get him to kill himself.
So we felt that, and you girls can, give input on this too. And I'll tell you I'm sure you've seen things online, but a lot of people are like, oh, you can skip Akathas. It's not pertinent to the story. But for me, yeah, they skip it. This is the whole thing.
Damn it.
There's a whole campaign against skipping Akathas. It makes us mad.
It's furious. It's infuriating because we tell everybody there are these critical scenes between Tamlin and Rhys Sands. And in particular, for me, it was very emotional because seeing Tamlin depressed and what I feel is suicidal. He's sitting there and he's sitting at the table with that carcass of a deer, right? And he's just staring at it. Talk to me about you saying that scene, acting that scene. Talk to me about your thoughts on Rhys Sands coming. We felt he was taunting him, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Bear it back. I gotta get tissues.
Okay.
When I was doing that scene, and I've got, for some reason, I can't remember, and there was also the one where, was it Nesta who came to visit him as well?
Put that finger down, you witch. Mm-hmm.
I felt that, personally, Rhys Sands could have been trying, in his own way, to extend the olive branch. But to Tamlin, it was a hollow gesture. So much had been taken from him, and he was so hollowed out that when I was in my headspace of Tamlin in that scene, the deer was Tamlin.
Yeah.
It was a gutted, desiccated piece of prey that people had feasted on and then left. His home was destroyed and left in ruins. The halls were empty, and it was just the High Lord of a ruined court. And it was sad. It's honestly, to me, it represented a lot of what people in the military often experience, where they fight and give so much to come back to a home that has moved on, that has taken from them, used them, and then discarded them, and left them broken and hollow and without friends or family or resources. And I had to put some stank on it for them.
Mm-hmm.
I had to.
Yeah.
Out of, if nothing else, respect.
Yeah.
I've never had the opportunity to serve in the armed forces, but I know enough. I speak military, and I know enough about
Mm.
the shit that they break you
Mhm.
and they turn you into a tool. And it's nice for a while. You don't have to think, you don't have to feel, but that shit builds up. And once it reaches that breaking point, and you lose the ability to be that, because Tamlin's no longer a general. He's no longer a soldier in that scene. He is powerless
Mhm.
and ineffective. And he doesn't know who he is outside of the trappings of High Lord, General, and soldier. He's lost his purpose.
He became the beast.
He didn't even become the beast. At least a beast has purpose.
Well,
A beast can hunt, can fish, can fuck, can fight. He's just broken.
He's a corpse.
yeah.
He's
He
a
is
deer
the deer
corpse.
on the table.
Yeah.
It actually made me like physically nauseous when I was reading that scene. And like as you said, Reese comes in and it was probably an olive branch, but then it like turns into like, oh, you won. And he's like, I don't have to thank you for saving my life or Farah's life or my family's life, and you deserve to rot here. And that, like, I was so nauseous during that.
Mm.
And I'm like,
It was hard to read.
what?
My
Like, how
chest
dare
flipped with
you?
the
Like, it honestly just felt like kicking a dog when it's down, man.
Yes.
That was rough.
I did like the one sentence when he leaves, and it was like, for a moment, something hollow took root in his chest or whatever. And I was like, you're feeling guilty after the fact, Reese?
his heart grew 3 sizes.
But no, but
Oh,
total props to Anthony Palmini for voice acting that scene. We never actually got to be in the booth together, and we just went off of the director. So huge props to him for
oh,
making that scene as
gutted.
punching as it was.
100%. Both of you. Like, it
Uh,
was so, it was so emotional.
It was.
Beautiful. Oh my God. And like you said, even the Nesta scene where she comes and like it just like I get that she's Farah's sister. I get that she's trying to stand up for Farah, but like even after what Farah did to Nesta herself, like she has to know that there's two sides to every story. So just like you're invading his lands, whether you see him as a functioning High Lord or not, you are trespassing on his lands. And so for you to go and then threaten him when you're
It's just rude.
trespassing,
Just
I was
rude.
like, what is happening right now?
Gee, I wonder where Feyre got it from.
yeah.
All three of you.
She
Nesta
was not
Peskin and Eris. What the fuck?
Nesta was not there yet in her healing
Yes.
to start thinking differently.
To be
She
fair,
has that
listen,
ability. We've seen it before, but she was not in that frame of mind because why? Right now she's codependent on Feyre.
Mm-hmm.
Feyre is what's stopping her from Reese executing her.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I kind of get why Nesta lost her head for like
Mhm.
5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And I love when she goes back to the House of Wind and she's like, I am Tamlin. I'm just like Tamlin. And she actually goes through that thought process, which I really liked that SJM did after that scene.
I hope that means she has compassion for him.
fun fact, I actually did not read that scene. I have not read any scene that doesn't have Tamlin in it.
Ooh!
Because Tamlin is alone. And
Yes.
he doesn't understand or know any of the emotional journeys that any of these people are undergoing. And if he did, it would be a different character. But he doesn't. And he didn't.
I do see a lot of similarities with Tamlin and Nesta in their healing journeys. So I hope, again, we're still praying for Tamlin's book.
Yes.
Look, I just want Tamlin to have the opportunity to be the person he always wanted to be, which was a protector.
Yeah.
Well, and without the trappings of lord or taxes or any, just he went to war for humans. He went to
Wait.
war for his people. He has always had a protection instinct.
Mhm.
Even when he
Protected
was
another
losing
tree.
himself amidst the rage of his abilities or the Kalinmai Fest, he has always tried to protect people if he felt they were not ready.
Yeah.
That was so well said, because we talk a lot too about, how a lot of people feel that when Tamlin had said, Feyre, stay in the manor, on Calanmai, stay in the manor, you're gonna get hurt. They were like, that is very controlling and just inappropriate of Tamlin to, yeah. Say it again,
Meanwhile,
Eka.
the pregnancy
And a
bubble.
human. You mean to tell me you want her going around LSD-stricken Fae who probably have weird STDs? No. You mean to tell me that you would let your cousin, if she was 19, go to the local rager and drink
Thank you.
mushroom punch? Hmm? You want her to get with Uncle Billy Bob up in them hills? No.
Ooh. Blech.
Yeah.
You,
And
you
like,
mean-
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
that's okay. I was gonna say, like, and in Akamath, when he's like, please, please just stay here. We need to go take care of the border or whatever. Everyone's like, that's abuse, that's abuse, that's abuse. I always like liken it to someone who is suicidal, who is impulsive, who like, not to be gruesome, but like, if you knew someone who was like, I'm gonna go jump in front of a train right now, they trusted you to tell you that. You're telling me you're not gonna try to stop them.
Look, from my perspective as Tamlin, Feyre just awakened their powers. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. This has never happened. I don't know how to deal with this. I can't deal with an untrained, trigger-happy maniac on the front line that is liable to shoot me in the back on accident or divulge military secrets in front of the enemy.
When you have
That's true.
There
a
are
handful
they're
of soldiers.
19, illiterate, and overly charged. This has never happened before. I don't know what's happening. I need to lock things down so I can figure out what the fuck is going on. And maybe if I just have 5 minutes of some goddamn peace and quiet, I can figure out what's going on and maybe make a plan for this. But do they listen? No.
He had no time to breathe in Akamath because it was Hybern
Absolutely.
attacking, the monsters attacking, the borders, trying to figure out the bargain.
He
Ready.
needed a fucking break. He needed a Kit Kat so bad.
I say he never got a chance to mourn either Feyre's human death or even his own because we don't know what happened to him under the mountain. Still.
What do you think happened?
I could tell him.
I had some fun.
Say that again.
I think Amarantha had some fun.
You
Ugh.
do.
Unfortunately,
She wanted him.
the object of all my desires is now willingly here with me and can't say no.
Ugh.
Olivia asked
I'm not going to say the word, but
Mm.
no means no, even if he's magically coerced.
Yeah.
Just saying. He is the PTSD prince and not just from war.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say.
You want
I
to ask?
truly don't know what happened under the mountain. We never get to see. But
Do you?
I can infer that Amarantha's a thirsty bitch.
Oh, 100%. But do you think that, so in the third trial, when we see Tamlin transform into the adder on the dais and he was actually brought out with the sack over his head to be stabbed, do we think that it was actually Tamlin on the dais the other times or no?
Oh, 100% it was.
Oh.
You mean to tell me that I get this magical, transforming hunk of a man and I'm not going to use him like the centerpiece I think he is? No. Amarantha's a showgirl.
Hurting.
She loves pageantry. Why wouldn't she make her main dish the main score? Come on now. Come on now.
That makes
So,
sense.
On that note, because there was a theory going around that, and I had believed it for a long time, and I talked about a lot that, that was the adder the entire time.
Mhm.
What do you have to say? Because a lot of people take issue that Tamlin didn't try and stop Feyre going through the trials. Tamlin didn't, he just sat there and watched. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, circling back real quick, part of the reason why I think it was actually Tamlin turning into the adder is because of the old song of Tamlin and Janet, and how Tamlin turned into a bear, a wolf, and a burning coal while after he was yanked from his horse by Janet after being captured by the Wild Hunt. So that's a bit of Irish folklore right there, which is referenced by Tamlin turning into the adder and other things.
I think it's
So,
Scottish.
Hmm?
I think it's Scottish.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Scottish. My
Yeah.
apologies. But repeat your other question.
So what Tamlin gets a lot of heat because people think that it was horrible that he just sat on that chair and didn't interfere and didn't help Feyre get out of there, that he just sat and watched, and it makes him less of a man.
Oh no, the thing that magically has me bound won't let me directly interfere or I'll die.
I know.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder if I can do anything. Adams, you mean to tell me that if you were in Tamlin's boots, the woman who cursed the entirety of all Fae to wear pretty little masks that cover part of our face and limit our powers? You mean to tell me if she got what she wanted and has her prize pig up on the pedestal, that pig is gonna try and move? No! I
Exactly.
don't care how strong you are. You don't mess with the bitch that puts a curse on the entirety of all the courts.
Exactly.
He's in the spotlight. You don't move when you're in the rule number 1 of theater. If you're in the spotlight, you're in the spotlight.
Rhys even says that. Like Rhys himself.
There's a reason Rhysand was there. Rhysand was, doing his shadow magic bullshit. He's working behind the scenes like he always does. Lucian was there as Tamlin's right-hand man. If Tamlin is a general and a warrior, you want to know what generals do? They delegate. Because they can't be everywhere at once. Why was Lucian there? Tamlin's orders.
I'm going to heal your nose.
Yes.
If Tamlin truly didn't want to support him, to support Feyre, Lucian wouldn't have been there.
I never thought of
Sorry,
that.
go ahead.
No, I never thought of it like that.
No, yeah, dude, like, if Lucian's his right-hand man, and Lucian basically does what he does if he's breaking the rules via Tamlin's say-so, because Tamlin can't be there, of course he's
loyal.
Yeah.
Duh. And if Tamlin was
Loyal.
Lucian wouldn't have helped.
Yeah. I think he swore an oath.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I do find it very interesting that all of their powers were stripped, and yet Lucian still had his healing magic, and his mother also retained her powers. So I don't know if there's some upcoming autumn storyline there, but I always pick that out. That's very interesting.
I'd like to personally think that it's because of the fact that Amarantha is so focused on destruction and locking down things that healing magic is one of the few things that can escape her purview. Exactly.
Passives, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like when Lady Autumn was like, boop, and I was like, oh, thank you for saving my son. That was heartbreaking too.
Lucian just short end of the stick every time.
Every time.
My boy. My baby boy.
Oh, Eka, you had a question based off that with lovely big bro of Lulu in regard to Tam. Do you want to ask?
Are they besties?
Is he giving him the lowdown on Lucian's life?
I would honestly say I don't think he and Tamlin are besties. I do think they are allies because they
Yep.
recognize I have been put in this situation and I have to do what is necessary in order to keep order. And
Right.
from one High Lord to another, I'm going to give you a hand. Because it's been shown that the older brother killed his father because he was being too much of a dick. And his younger siblings were very dickish as well.
I
And I don't know about you, but if my younger siblings are just as scheming and conniving as my father, and I had to oust him, I'm going to keep them at arm's length. But that little renegade over there, that soldier boy who doesn't play the power game of the courts, he's an ally. He's useful. I can trust is a strong word. We could use each other.
Mhm. I also find it a very interesting mirror that Eris and Tamlin's lives are kind of similar. I know Eris isn't really as much of a warrior as Tamlin as he is a courtier, but just talking about the sadistic fathers and having to work under them, the brothers that want them dead for power, and both of them also kind of keeping in the back of their head like their love for Lucian, and at all costs we have to protect Lucian as like the little brother. And I just think that's really like cute and like a really fun thing that Sarah did.
Lucian must be protected at all costs. I'm glad that is the overarching theme of this. Fuck Feyre. Lucian must be protected at all costs.
Go, Farah! Lucian,
Lucian has done nothing truly wrong or despicable,
ever.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest.
He's a little summertime cream puff with strawberries.
With strawberry.
Oh my god.
Bring me back, my boy.
Oh my gosh.
So do you think Tamlin knows about Helion and Lady Autumn?
I truly don't think he does. He's been so isolated.
Rachel put up on her Instagram the other day. She said she does like these really funny like sketches with the High Lords or whatever. And so she put for Helion like my pumpkin spice sperm or something. And I was like, oh my god.
Spiced sperm?
That was hilarious. Like Helion was calling Lucian
spice latte.
Helion was calling Lucian like my pumpkin boy and like like all these like autumn court inspired like little pet names, and Lucian's like, I'm a grown male. But he's like,
I'm a grown-ass man.
but he's like, you're still my baby. my little autumn baby. Pumpkin spice.
That's adorable.
Hi.
That just popped into my head. I had to say it. It was hilarious. Oh god. Anyways, what is your favorite Tamlin scene overall?
Ooh, okay. So, if we're talking about infamous,
in general, any of them.
Wait, do it again.
I'm not gonna say the full quote, but have you ever noticed that mole on her back? I died when I did that one.
Nice.
That is one of the most infamous scenes to do, but my favorite scene, it's those 3 magic words.
Oh, I love that.
Be happy, Feyre.
Oh,
yeah.
We dish about the High Lords meeting constantly. I found it fucking great that Tamlin entered that meeting the exact same way that Rhysand entered his wedding to take Feyre. The exact same way.
No, it was the fact that he brought all the fucking papers, he brought all the receipts, he read everyone for filth, and they were unwilling to realize that they had misjudged him because they were just so quick to jump on the train of, oh, he's gone traitor. Like,
I don't understand that, because he is the one who stayed under the mountain to debrief them, to talk about the next steps after Amarantha. Rhys fled like a fucking coward. Baron fled like a fucking coward. Tarquin, Helion, Callias, brand new High Lords, had no idea what to do. And Tamlin actually took the lead on that and was like, okay, we should meet, we should discuss the next steps for all of our courts. And the fact that they showed up and turned on him because of Rhys irks me to this fucking day. No reason for it.
It just goes to show what happens when public opinion is used against you with unflattering opinions by malicious agents who have self-interest in your personal destruction.
That's true.
Oh, I know.
It's
yes,
not
he
like
does.
Tamlin was all that likable. He was gruff. He was rude. He didn't play the courtly games. He wasn't well indicted with any of the other court. He kept himself aloof.
These are the facts. This is what we have to do, period.
And it worked to his benefit in some cases, and in this case, it worked to his detriment. And it just goes to show what isolation can do. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, isolation is a symptom of depression.
Yeah.
And how long has Tamlin been isolating the Spring Court?
Over 50 years, and then there was a break for a couple of months, and then it went back.
So, in your opinion,
but yes, sorry, Olivia.
In your opinion, because I love everything that Tamlin said at the High Lords meeting. I was like, "Go King, go King!" It's so accurate. It's so truthful. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he was disgusting when he said that one thing." And look, what do you think about what Tamlin said? Because I feel like everything he said was spot on and true.
Facts.
What are your thoughts? Facts.
When he was spitting facts about Highburn and all the military stuff, and like, really, did you have to destroy that? That was him airing his grievances.
Yeah.
When he started getting personal, my first thought was, one, maybe not the best time, but when would he get another opportunity? You're telling me if you showed up with receipts proving your bitch of an ex-fiance wrong, you're not going to milk that shit for all it's worth?
Right.
Honey, you're as delulu as I am then. Come on now. No, if we can take them down a peg and or a whole fucking stool, I'm getting my golf clubs and I'm swinging.
Right.
It only helped even more the fact that everyone was banking on him to explode, and it was the Night Court. Fucking loved that shit.
It was the Night
Fucking
Court.
loved that shit.
And he played them like a fiddle.
Like a fiddle.
Gotta love it.
I love it.
Oh, look, I'm playing the world's smallest fiddle for you. You should used to playing with small instruments, Rhysand.
Oh my god.
That's the ringtone. That's the ringtone.
I guess that wingspan does compensate for something.
That is glorious. Holy
God.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
I love that. I love that. And I think it's one of the only times that we see Feyre and Rhysand called out for their actions or certain things that they did, because they're put on a pedestal
Messy
too.
bitches.
Yes. Preach. Yes.
Do it.
I believe the term you humans use is sloppy bottomus rex.
Yep.
Love it. I fucking love it.
Fucking love it. Oh my god. Okay, there's something that bothers me about Tamlin's isolation. I know it's actually a scene that we haven't discussed yet, which I thought of. It was one of the questions somewhere, but when Feyre goes in and she tries to destroy Spring, and she purposely turns Bronn and Hart against Tamlin. That was awful because she planted and she planned the whipping of that sentry and then made it look like he had no problem with it when it was very clear that he was very upset. Do you think Bronn and Hart will ever come back and realize that they were mind fucked?
I don't think they will. Unfortunately.
That destroyed me because I was like, he has like, what, a handful of them left that were still pretty loyal to him because he would protect them. And she had to pick his two closest men after knowing.
I mean, we're like OG Asriel and Cassian.
They are.
She so thoroughly destroyed his reputation and his house. I don't think they'll be coming back. Because what she did was... in my opinion, at least as Tamlin,
right,
she proved her loyalty to Rhysand, all right.
Oh, yeah.
She did everything she was asked. Destroy the Spring Court, bring it down from the inside, make it so that he can't fight with Hybern, because she thinks she's doing the right thing, so yeah, sure. Whatever means necessary, right? Tamlin's obviously the bad guy, right? And it's one of those unfortunate things where, due to manipulation, due to perception, due to deception, I think that relationship between those two and Tamlin is severed.
That's painful.
Because they don't have the same bond that Lucien had with Tamlin. Like, they were soldiers. They'd worked together, but, like, you don't stay with an abusive boss. And, like, from their perspective, they did the right thing. They got the fuck out of Dodge from a cruel and abusive master. Because Tamlin was turning into the thing they swore to defend Prythian against. And, like, from their perspective, they did the right thing. And me personally, as a voice actor and reader, I don't fault them for that.
Oh, yeah. Because she totally...
No, she played them like a fiddle.
Yep. Yes, she did. Oh,
I don't think it was very necessary.
But maybe Lucien could convince them. I don't know. I'm kind of holding up hope. Maybe tiny bit. Little bit. I don't know. After they were...
It would take some serious convincing by Lucien and, more importantly, Feyre herself to bring them back, because she's the reason they left.
Yeah.
So I don't think
she owes it.
She owes it to him.
And I don't think they'll come back until she herself says, "Hey, I was kind of in my feelings, and I may or may not have fed you some false information."
Yeah.
I hope she can grow and do that, but I don't really have faith that she ever will with Rhys anyway.
Hey, after what happened between her and Rhys in Nesta's book, I'm ready for Nesta and Feyre to pack up, get things straight.
Ye old magical divorce, you say?
Drop those bat boys like they're hot.
No. You don't drop bats. You release them into the wild.
Is it too soon to say, like, maybe they can lose their wings? Too morbid.
Damn.
Too morbid.
Oh, dark.
Just a wee bit.
Olivia, do you want me to bring up your huge pressure point? I can see in your face.
Can you see it? Can you see it? Just
every time.
Killing me.
Every time. Go ahead.
Okay, so Henry, now that we're talking about Bronn and Hart, I there's someone in book one that just grinds my gears to no end, and someone who I felt that Tamlin really helped out, and he went out of his way to help her and her family. Alice.
Aqua Alice.
Oh, God, I haven't thought about. Hold on, I need to look up. Like, do you want to know how long? I haven't thought about Alice in years.
Fucking Alice.
We say fucking Alice on here. It to me, I always say that she's kind of like the OG traitor, right? Because Tamlin took her in. She was a refuge from summer. Took her into the spring court. Took her nephews there. He gave her a job in his household. Paid her. She was fed. Her nephews were fed. And then when Feyre had her meltdown in the manor, right, and Alice was, I would say, like an accomplice, maybe.
One to lie.
I would say accomplice.
Would you say accomplice?
Yeah.
And it blows my mind because to me, if I had been Alice and he provided all of these things for me, this safety and helped me so much, I felt like it was a huge betrayal on her part to Tamlin. What do you think about Alice?
On top of her,
was.
Yeah.
But there's also the very, very, very complicated part, which, give me 1 second. Where is this? Where is it? We're forgetting Andres.
Okay.
Because Tamlin ordered Andres to do this thing, and Feyre killed him, Alice did not like either of them. And so the person I believe that she gained her loyalty to, because you can have a cushy job and still resent your boss.
True.
Like, I think we're a bit quick to go, she should have been loyal to. She was Feyre's handmaiden above all, like Tamlin's orders directly. Serve her. Your loyalty is now to her.
That's true.
I think it just pains me because it was the big thing for Alice was that Tamlin glamored her nephews, protected her nephews from Amarantha and Hybern the whole entire time. And then how in ACOWAR, when Feyre comes and she's just like, oh, I already got them out and I'm going to sneak out and go ahead and destroy him. I was like, that doesn't really sit right with me because it was about like your little nephews and he helped protect them. I don't know.
Well, he helped protect them, but Feyre got them out completely. So, true. I guess that's what loyalty counts for these days.
Do you think we will ever see Alice in later books, or is she kind of like Bronn and Hart and she's probably gone?
I think she's probably gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Feyre's High Lady of the Night Court. She's got superpowers. She's got her own attendants with her own thing. And Alice is a known traitor. She's got a bit of a mark against her. I don't think she's going to be showing up in polite company.
Has a ruby? Do you think she has a blood ruby like Feyre does?
Ooh.
No.
Not for Darkwing.
I honestly think Alice, I don't think she has anything of value aside from her family.
Yeah.
And the more good you do for her family, the higher in her esteem you are. Tamlin may have protected her family, but Feyre saved her family. And ultimately, that's what won her loyalty. So, on the one hand, I agree it's shitty.
Right.
But on the other, I completely understand where the character is coming from.
That makes sense.
I guess I didn't really realize, like, while all the main characters were under the mountain and everything, they were too. So like we don't know what Alice saw under the mountain or what, where her nephews were at that time.
I mean, seeing your boss literally get turned into like a puppy by a scary witch, I think that would shake my faith in the person protecting my nephews. I think that would make me have some doubts. Like I said, I don't blame Alice. It's heartbreaking that she did betray,
Yeah.
but I understand why it. Just because I understand why it happened doesn't mean I gotta like it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That
Yeah.
is true.
God, y'all been asking me something like I haven't thought
You
about
did.
some of these characters in years. This
We're
is so
coming.
much fun.
We're coming
No, like,
with the questions.
y'all are making me scratch my brain. Like, ooh, hold on, is that a new
That's what
folder?
our podcast wants to do. We want you to scratch your brains.
We
Oh,
want
no, this is
Deep
so much
dive.
fun. Oh my God, I'm having a whale of a time.
nice.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. I can't remember if this was mine or yours, but I can ask if you want. We have a lot of theories. But why do you think Tamlin had children's books in his study?
Yeah.
I think they were his.
From his mom?
Oh,
They were one of the few memories of kindness he had of his family.
Makes sense.
Oh,
Because when you're a soldier and you're going to war, you got to keep your life in a bag. You can't
Yeah.
afford to keep mementos or nice things. Maybe a trinket or two, but not books.
I was like,
So they're one of the few men. Like he probably grew up learning to read from those books. Those are
yeah,
probably his.
his dad wasn't doing anything for him except bringing
His,
him to
well, his dad
Hybern.
was beating him a new shade of purple.
yeah.
I had like a little unhinged theory that his dad was bringing him to Hybern and Amarantha as the youngest because they were doing like experiments on him. Because Tamlin told us that his father was not a shapeshifter and his people did not want to follow him because he was a shapeshifter. And so we don't really have any indication on where those powers come from. What do you think?
I don't think they did experiments. I think that Tamlin unlocked that shape-shifting ability of the Spring Court while fighting to defend humans. I think his father was so entrenched in his ways that he was unwilling to basically spring is all about growth and
Yeah.
change and adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
storms.
Hmm?
And storms.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And at least like much like we said with the reincarnation and circling back to earlier,
Yeah.
Tamlin probably did unlock those shape-shifting powers when he assumed the mantle of High Lord, but he's probably only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Think he
I
why hole in the wall?
How about a what now?
Do you think he's the reason why there's a hole in the wall?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I mean, because like, you gotta love what you fight for.
Right.
Tamlin fought for humans. Why wouldn't he want to be able to see them?
Speaking of humans,
Speaking of humans,
especially female humans,
you want me to?
Archeron, do you think that she was a party girl and just kind of ran away to play Jersey Shore, Shore
All
over
I heard
the
was Archeron. I didn't hear the first name.
Mama Archeron?
I think mommy and daddy were used to a certain level of lifestyle. And when daddy couldn't provide, mommy saw better opportunities elsewhere.
I think she went to May, and I think that she was the last human that those three picks that attacked Feyre saw, because they're like, we haven't seen a human woman in a while. Yeah, the last one was her mother.
wait,
Fucking around and
Henry.
finding-
Henry, you're dropping big things here. Pray tell, let's talk about Mama Archeron. So let's see, Feyre and Nesta. Look at you. Feyre and Nesta look an awful lot alike. And
Like
a little bit different.
He looks like Daddy for some reason.
And if we're thinking maybe Mama Archeron was seeking better opportunities elsewhere, talk to me about this. Talk to me about some of your thoughts.
Well, I seem to forget. Do we know if Daddy Archeron had a brother or some such?
As far as we know, he only had a father and grandfather who were dead at the beginning of the series, who passed down the debt to him of the merchant business, but that's all we learn.
Well, here's the fun thing about merchant parties. There's lots of wine, there's lots of food, there's lots of guests.
Big
Yes.
ships.
Big ships. Lots of pineapples.
Honey.
Stop
Lot
it.
of pineapples. Maybe some of them are upside down.
I mean, Papa Archeron did know Vasa quite well, and he knew where to find Koshi. I feel like he was a merchant for
Papa
Prithian.
Archeron knew what Fae were.
Yeah, exactly.
The pelts, Olivia, the pelts!
So
And here's the thing. If he knows what the pelt of a Fae is, reason surmises he might know about Callan Mai.
okay.
He told Farah to make something of herself once she
Don't
got in
come
the spring
back.
court.
He's a seer!
Don't come back.
I think he was half Fae, honestly. I think he knew Vasa, had a relationship with Vasa because he had to ask the queen's permission to go over the wall. I think he was half Fae and he could go back and forth between both because he presented as human.
I don't think he was half Fae, but I definitely think he might have had dealings in the past, and he went back on his word, and that's why all of his business dealings fell through.
The second wave of creditors that broke his leg had to be
And
Fae.
For instance,
Farrah doesn't
Tamlin
break
fixed
it
all
out.
those problems and gave them a fancy new house. Remember?
Yes.
And all at the beginning, all of a sudden, those creditors broke his legs. They came out of nowhere. But Daddy hadn't been in the merchant industry in a long time. Gee, I wonder where they came from.
Where they came from.
Okay, wait a second.
And on top of that, Mama Archeron has cousins on the continent, like Erston, who didn't reply to their human plea for money and food. It's so sus.
Okay, so wait, so he could have gone back on maybe like a promise or something he said he was gonna do.
Bargain, maybe?
Oh no, I just firmly believe he got greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because literally, I forget which sister said it, but like one of them literally didn't do household chores because she was used to a certain way of life.
Both of
You don't
us,
raise
like
kids
Elaine.
like that to be responsible. And kids like that only learn that from their parents. So,
Mommy and Daddy were very privileged.
Mommy and Daddy were very privileged.
So there's a scene. Oh, go ahead.
No, you first.
There's a scene where Tamlin's talking with Feyre, right? And I forget, they were at the table. And Tamlin was like, when Mama Archeron was brought up, he was like, did your mother really never tell you anything about us? Help me out, guys. Help me out here.
Okay, which happens.
All I'm gonna say, Callan Mai. A lot of pineapples.
Oh my lord, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Why do you think Tamlin said stay in the fucking house?
Right?
He
knew
at the Callan Mai festival before.
He what?
He's probably seen people people as in humans participate in Callan Mai. He knows what that will do to you.
Where do you think the half-Fae babies came from that they hated?
Do you think Tamlin knew Mama Archeron?
I think his daddy at least knew her.
Depending on when the dad died, but yeah, they definitely.
To him, human are cattle. They don't deserve free thought. They just deserve to be used and discarded as I see fit. So, probably there's at least a dalliance or two.
Do you think that there's any, I don't know how to phrase this. Do you think that SJM had any plans to bring up a potential changeling storyline after that? Because Tamlin, so Lucian was the one that started this whole conversation. He was teasing her and whatever, and she's like, "Is this all you do? Like dance under the moon and all this stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, and we snatch human babes from their cradle and turn them into changelings." Or exchange them with changelings. And then Tamlin cuts him off. And he's like, "Didn't your mother tell you anything about us?" And I was like, that's a very interesting change of topic when you're talking about changelings.
More than likely, that's actually I hadn't considered that. That's a very good point. More than likely, from my perspective, with my knowledge of mythology, of Tamlin and the Spring Court, and the fact that the hole to the human world through the wall was conveniently close to the Spring Court, they've probably done that in the past. There's like at least during Tamlin's father's era,
Yeah.
they definitely did that. Stealing humans to be a like, I
Yeah.
mean, dude,
Exchanging
shit,
them with babies.
his mother may be a changeling herself. I don't know.
I was like, could the mom or dad be a changeling? And then I had the theory.
Mom definitely could be, especially considering she fucked off.
I'm not convinced he's
Just
dead, but I'm
saying.
never convinced anybody's dead, so that's a me problem.
It's certain. I don't know how, like, we are approaching possible credibility, but I don't think it's for certain. It's
Yeah.
certainly a possibility given all of the coincidences lining up, but because I haven't heard anything hardcore in canon,
Yeah.
I can't say either way.
So can I throw out a wild theory that I have just to get your thoughts?
Throw me the curveball.
It's kind of wild.
Let's see it.
I have this whole video that I did on Instagram based on the fact that Mama Archeron was going to Callan May and all of this stuff, and because of their position in high society, how a lot of times the females in those positions, like if they had like a miscarriage or a stillborn, they would see that as like a mark against themselves. And so I was thinking, like, if she knew Tamlin and say, you know, she had Nesta and maybe she had a miscarriage and her husband already knew that she was carrying. I was wondering if Elaine could have been the changeling and perhaps Tamlin shapeshifted her to look like Papa Archeron.
And that's why
As a
she
babe.
had her affinity with flowers.
Because she's from the Spring Court. A baby from the Spring Court. I feel like he gave her a baby of one of his sentries that was sent to die and didn't have a family anymore to Mama Archeron to raise. And that was Elaine. Thank you. Because she's always been the different one.
Right.
And she was the one that somehow looked like the dad.
Theory. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that fucking theory, dude. That's great.
I'll have to send you the whole reel with like all the quotes and everything.
You gotta.
I'm gonna share it with you later.
No, like I had not considered, like that had not even crossed my mind. But now I was like, wait a minute. The math is mathing. Hold up.
I have a lot of these really like wild ones where the math actually is mathing and it's wild.
No, like, I mean, shit. This may be us delving too greedily and too deep, but it's a really cool fucking theory, dude. I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
why she's spring-coated, and that's why she's the only sibling that happened to look like Papa Archeron.
She does have a lot of flowers in her getup.
She's a Spring Court
Elaine
baby.
loved the Spring Court.
Spring Court baby.
That concerns me, you guys. That really worries me a lot, actually. You're saying Elaine could be a Spring Court baby? That concerns me.
Because of the Tamlin theory?
No, not because of Tamlin, because if there's another heir to the Spring Court, do you
But it
think
doesn't choose females.
No. Don't
we
wait a
don't know it
second.
doesn't choose female. Bryce has to change that. So if Tamlin dies, Elaine could
No,
inherit.
they didn't.
Oh,
They didn't change
The
it.
theory was that Elaine is a changeling from
Yeah.
one of the guards that was sent to die.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
the theory that's been posited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is no secret incestuous relationship.
Yeah.
This is not
So it
Game of
wouldn't be
Thrones.
Tamlin's.
This is
She
not
wouldn't
the
be
Oedipus
Tamlin.
Rex tragedy.
No. She wouldn't be
No,
Tamlin.
okay. So we've decided she's not Tamlin's kid,
No,
right?
no, no,
Obviously.
yeah, yeah, no.
But
We
but
have
still,
concluded that Mama Archeron was a bit of a freak, though. Like I keep saying, a lot of upside down pineapples.
But see, this would also make sense
Upside down
because
cake.
okay, this would also make sense because when Farah goes into Elaine's
I'm leaving the white flag. Stop. But please continue.
when Farah goes into Elaine's mind, it is gates of iron and unbloomed flowers. When Farah first gets to the spring court, they go through an iron gate. And what helps bloom flowers but the sun? Who is now the son of Helion except Lucian, their mates? And not only that, but Lucian has always been pertinent to the spring court. So it would make sense that he would have a spring court mate.
Personally, oh God, I don't know who Lucian is destined for. I just want my baby boy to be happy.
Right?
He deserves it.
Oh
He
my
does.
god.
Shit for a lifetime.
I know. He's been through
Removed
so
by
much.
Amarantha,
He's been through so much.
abused by daddy, abandoned by his family. He don't need that.
No.
I had like
Oh.
I had a thing off the changeling thing, sort of. It was kind of in the same video where I muddled it all together. But my personal theory is that the Lucian and Elaine thing are kind of going to be like a Rapunzel and Eugene type retelling. And so because Papa Archeron showed up to the war in Akawar with the boats named after them, and Elaine is always the one that took after her father and always the one that wanted to go to the continent and to, travel. And Lucian's a traveling emissary. I feel like he's going to take her on her own boat and they're going to travel a little bit.
They're gonna see the lights.
They're going to see the lights on the continent. Just don't go near Koshi's lake.
Yeah, please.
You'll get
Well-
dragged in, Elaine.
so did you guys talk? I'm curious. Would you guys be open to talking about mates and ships real quick?
Elaborate.
What should we start with, you guys?
I love that Henry said that Tamlin loves humans. So why don't we start?
Oh no. Oh no. No. Henry, do you know who Tamlin's mate is gonna be?
I don't have word from Moss on high who Tamlin's fated mate is.
Do you have a theory of your own?
I have a fucked up theory.
Tell us.
Ooh. Do tell.
I might have a feeling I know what it is, but tell us.
Tamlin's mate was Amarantha.
No.
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 No, I reject that theory.
But here's the thing. He was also fated to kill her.
True.
Why?
But I
Tell me why. Make it make sense. Why?
Tamlin's father brought Tamlin to Amarantha
Okay.
at her behest. She constantly desired him and wanted him, and she is a creature and being of magic, moved by magic, and enthralled with magic. If, at the very least, she felt the budding pull of the strings, Tamlin did everything in his power to keep that away because she fucking terrified him. And for every correct reason. Now, here's the thing. I also believe, personally, that you can have more than one fated mate.
Yeah. So who's the second one?
Unless the first one was fucked with by Highburn, because he did have the freaky spell book.
Was
Which is
it
another
fair at
thing. We don't know
point?
where the spell book went.
Truly, in terms of mate. Oh, this is gonna sound so weird, but it's mainly because a friend of mine posited this theory to me way back when. I think Tamlin might be destined for Elaine.
She's ridiculous.
What? All I know
She
is
spontaneously busted.
Jesus. All I saw was just not even sound. Just
Henry, I will turn you to my side. If it's the last thing that I do, I will send you all of my Tamlin's mate reels, and you can decide which one is true.
truly, I would love
To
to
be
see
fair.
all of the theories. I only know what I've been given, and as I said earlier, I purposefully don't read all of the parts of the ACOTAR series because Tamlin doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
So, because the
Yeah.
series is still ongoing, I cannot read it because Tamlin doesn't know it.
See, Olivia, he didn't read that part.
And it's been driving me fucking
So,
nuts.
ha.
I think and Rhysand are actual true mates.
Who and what now?
Rhysand and Nesta.
I mean,
Yeah.
she is a bad bitch. Not gonna lie, she is a bad bitch.
He is Lady Death. He is Death incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Honestly, I can see it. I ship it. I can see it. I can totally see it.
I think Tamlin's true mate is Briar, the girl from the Highburn camp, the woman from the Highburn camp, the human.
Oh,
And her
oh
name,
God.
her name means wild bush of thorny roses.
in Orid.
She has dark hair, and I don't know, it was very interesting. I took a lot of quotes around Tamlin after that scene that, either says briars of thorns or brambles of thorns or stuff like this, and it all kind of adds up. And the fact that part of his intrinsic magic is that he can shapeshift other people, it was giving me the idea of, I don't know if you read Throne of Glass, but Aelin in Throne of Glass can shapeshift from human to her fae form. So I was like, if Briar's truly human, Tamlin could just give her a fae form too.
I had not considered that is. Ooh. Okay.
And there's a quote. And there's a quote during the Highburn rescue scene that is a direct callback to ACOTAR that I highlight every time I go over it.
Yep.
And it says, the young woman standing at the edge of the cliff looked like a doe about to be run down by a wolf.
Just like the wolf, just like the deer carcass in Tamlin's picture.
Which was actually among a bramble of thorns, according to Rhys, when he gets to the manor. I have a whole theory board on this, all the quotes, everything.
No, y'all give me so much to think about. I fucking love this.
Can we also add on to another mate that we want you to consider?
Hit me with it. Hit
Hit you with it. I'm gonna do it. Well, I have two things I want to bring up to you. So Melanie is talking about Briar, right? There, and she does have some evidence. Briar is a human. You said Tamlin was humans, right? So we talk a lot because the whole series is kind of like, it starts with Rhysand and Tamlin fighting, right? And Rhys has that little sister, and we're told through third person or whatever that that she was murdered, blah blah blah. Do you think it could be possible that Rhysand's sister and Tamlin were romantically involved, sneaking away together? Maybe they were mates or had a relationship. Mm-hmm. And that's why the dad's went, or why Tamlin's dad went and killed her because they didn't want a union or a joining of the two of them at all.
And on top of that, there is a painted mural of Ramiel in Tamlin's gallery that was covered up that Feyre uncovers. Hidden, covered up. And in ACOMAF, we learn from Rhys when they are in the heart of Valaris, he's sitting on the roof and he's talking to, Feyre. And he's like, the artist's quarters of Valaris was my sister's favorite place. In the same book that we learn that there is eerily similar blue paint in Rhysand's family cabin stashed away, which also reminded me of the Calanmai Whirl colors. So I was like, is he doing that for his lost
Can I ask you?
Theory's mate?
Ask you. During Calamai, was it Feyre that Tamlin was saying, I've been looking for you, or was it Tamlin's sister?
It's his sister.
Uh-huh.
Fuck.
Yeah. The mural, though.
So, personally, I think Tamlin and Rhys's sister were definitely knocking boots.
Yes!
I don't know if they were mates, but I definitely think they were knocking boots.
There are 3 different Night Court female clothes in the Spring Court in book 1 that Alice takes to have Feyre wear. One is dark blue and gold. One is a purple so dark it could be black. And the other is a turquoise two-piece set that Feyre says could have looked like Amren's style. And they were all stashed away in different weird drawers.
However, on Calanmai, I think Tamlin was calling for Feyre because he had already mourned the death of Rhysand's sister.
Well, is she dead, though?
I think so.
I mean,
You do.
how far into Crescent City have you gone, Henry?
Ooh. That's a good. I've only done the 2 books as Flynn.
So you haven't okay. Flynn.
Remember,
Okay, so Flynn,
I as the character am not allowed to know all the things that go on behind the scenes.
right?
But if you want to tell me something new,
I want to tell you something.
go ahead.
Oh my God, me and Olivia went up. Okay, in Crescent City 2, there is a bonus chapter with Rune, and he visits his mother. Now, Rune is known to look exactly like his mother, the black hair, the violet blue eyes. He goes to visit his mother. She conveniently lives in a spring-themed villa. She has citrus trees growing in the yard. Moore and Rhys's scent is citrus. And she's wearing a lilac-colored gown. And lilac is abundant in all of the Spring Court scenes. Now, Rune's mother's name is Lauren. And keep with me here. Lauren's name means laurel leaf or crowned with laurel. Now, back in ACOTAR, we see Tamlin crowned with laurel, both on Calanmai and on his tragic wedding day.
We aren't going to get you in trouble, are we?
I was gonna say, are you gonna get in trouble?
No, this is information I had no idea because I didn't read the bonus chapter.
Oh my God.
You were watching puzzle pieces fit together.
So,
oh God.
So going with the whole Lauren, Laurel, whatever, Tamlin's scent is lilac and cedar. Feyre's scent is lilac and pear. But isn't pear pretty close to citrusy, which is why we were asking, like, maybe was he trying to search for Lauren? Because we kind of had a theory that the Starlight Pool was a portal to the Crescent City world. And that's how he got her out of Prithian before his father killed her.
I don't think he was searching for her, because in this point in time, he was still on the mission of break the curse.
True. Yeah.
And he, like we have discussed earlier,
Yeah.
is a problem solver.
Yeah.
And I mean, imagine if I couldn't take these off, like, I kind of want to solve that problem. So he's like, hey, baby,
Yeah.
maybe I can make you love me through this.
Yeah.
Love
Words
bite.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say on the internet or not.
But
Upside down pineapple. Upside down pineapple. That's all I'm gonna say.
There you go. Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Pineapple upside down.
Pineapple. Pineapple.
So part of our theory of how she would have survived is that Tamlin's a shapeshifter. So Tamlin could have shapeshifted two Illyrian brutes to look like the mother and sister while he got them out to the Crescent City world.
Has Tamlin shown that he can shapeshift others, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Andrus, remember?
Yes.
Right. I thought Andrus could do that on his own for some reason.
No. He had to shapeshift all of them.
Oh my god. Sorry, my brain. Obviously, I've not had enough coffee.
We're very intense with the theories. But yeah,
No, like, this is so much information that I'm actually forgetting things for myself when I first. Y'all are like, okay.
We
Can
got
I
all.
just say? Can I just say the amount of detail and deep diving? You have outstripped me in my knowledge of the series, and I am a part of it. I am, as a fellow nerd, I am very impressed.
So nerd out. So the mural has eyes and teeth drawn between the peaks. And so in Crescent City, we kind of figure out that there's like portals, and there was one on Ramiel. And it's the mural of Ramiel with eyes and teeth in the peaks. So when we read the bonus chapter with Rune's mother, we were like, this is Rhysand's sister, undeniably.
Wait, you have to tell him the other characteristics of Rhysand's sister. There are no pictures of Rune anywhere in her villa. She has no personal pictures anywhere in the room. And then she's constantly waiting for somebody.
It says it.
Constantly waiting for someone, and like never expect, like it was never, she was never
Rune's like,
expecting
it wasn't
Rune,
me. I knew it wasn't me.
but he was always welcome. But
Rune says it. He knew it was.
For living in the Crescent City world, she has no idea how to use technology. Rune has to help her with everything tech. He's like, she still looks young enough to like be my sister and not my mom. And so this is where we also take a deeper tumble into where I said, what if when he saved her through the portal, she was pregnant and Rune is Tamlin's child? And that's why he had children's books in the same gallery where the mural was painted by Lauren to describe to him the portals, the Starborn portals.
Maybe those books were heirlooms from Tamlin to Rune.
I mean, before, I truly thought that they were Tamlin's childhood books. Truly, I did. This is a very plausible theory. Holy fucking
because
shit.
Tamlin always talks about with Feyre, like, oh, and my son will lead like this one day, and my son will lead like this one day. And we're like,
what son?
Well, don't you find it weird that Rune's mom is like, she's waiting, always waiting for somebody?
There's also a quote that Tamlin has told Feyre that he's had many lovers, and of course she gets jealous. He's had many lovers, warriors, princesses.
Night Court princess, Starborn princess.
I ship it. I ship it.
You do?
Forbidden love. I ship it.
That's what we said.
Well, but here's the thing. Truly, I do believe that it was more than just Tamlin's dalliance with Rhysand's sister. Truly, I do. Because you don't kill a whole family over a single dalliance. That was a power play by a shitty man. And then Rhysand responded, and, blood feud, etc. But
I'm wondering if the dads found out that she was pregnant with Tamlin's child.
And then
Aw,
we
an
had
unholy bastard between spring and night? Oh, shape-shifting and telekinesis? Fuck that.
Daemati on top of it.
Oh, no. No, no, no.
And,
No,
and,
no, no,
and
no. We
Tamlin's like, I
can't
need to
allow
save her.
that. We must, as fucked up as it sounds, more than likely they both came to the same conclusion. We must keep the bloodlines pure.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, that's why they wanted the sister dead. And I feel like maybe she told the mom, and the mom was just collateral in that fight.
Oh,
so
poor mommy dearest. Did not end well.
speaking of Crescent City, if Tamlin to have a bestie, who do you think it would be?
Ooh.
Flynn?
No.
No.
Flynn's too lackadaisical for Tamlin.
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
Tamlin needs someone that's going to be... Well, okay, hear me out. Hot take. If Tamlin goes to therapy, I think he would vibe with Bryce Quinlan.
Oh.
What?
Bryce has enough spark and spunk to her to not be cowed by Tamlin's temper. She isn't related to any of the courts. She doesn't care about the courts. So his baggage means nothing to her.
We think she's related to Autumn.
She's related to the Autumn Court through Einar.
Truly, I think Bryce and Tamlin would, because they are so, competitive, I think they would be gym buddies.
She's a female Lucian.
I love that.
She's an angry female Lucian.
She is angry. Yes.
And because he gets I believe that he's like her and she's like, hey, cut that shit out. And he's like, yes, you're right. Thank you.
Oh,
Got you.
Also,
I truly believe that if Tamlin becomes either a mentor or a friend to anyone, it would be Bryce.
that would make sense. Also,
Because
Bryce
you saw how Bryce dealt with Rune. Bryce is used to dealing with moody hot boys who are angry and sad. What is Tamlin?
Oh,
but the
he's
moodiest
so
hot
Tamlin's
boy?
kid. He's so Tamlin's kid. Rudy.
Hey, if you can handle the kid, you can handle the parents.
Literally. No. Oh my god. I had. Do you want me to bring this up? I don't know if you want me to bring this up. I had another little. This is how my mind works because I'm fucking
which one?
nuts
We're
and I'm a geek.
riffing. We're having fun here. We're like what? 3 hours deep now?
I
Let's
know.
fucking go.
You said that you've never read or seen any of the bonus chapters, right?
No.
So there's one where Bryce has to go to a lunch party of the higher fae, whatever, with Cormac as his fiance, and it's at Flynn's family's estate. And I think you know where I'm going with this, Olivia.
This one.
The very spring court coded manner, and they talk about his father having a hard heart and his mother being very cold and calculating. And so Flynn also has the green eyes. His father and mother have the green eyes also that Tamlin have. They have spring court magic. And Flynn's mother in particular, since we're going with the whole these High Lords didn't like their daughters thing, Flynn's mother has long flowing blonde hair and bright green eyes and married for spring court power. And so my thought with that was, did Tamlin kind of learn the portal thing from his daddy and Highburn? Were they just tossing females through a portal to see where they land? Because Flynn's mother sounds
Oh my God.
exactly like what a daughter of Tamlin's father would act like.
I'm sorry. I'm imagining a chibi version of Tamlin hucking random people through a portal, going yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did it Highburn when they brought him over to open up the portal?
Just all star yeet.
Well, because we kind of think
Come
that.
on, sis, I got you.
I mean, his dad could have tossed the firstborn daughter through there before the sons were born.
Honestly,
I don't know.
honestly,
They look the same.
I don't know how credible that theory is, but it sounds real convincing. Considering especially that Tamlin was the quote-unquote only survivor.
Right?
So I am willing to believe this theory. I don't know how credible it is, but it sounds plausible.
I'm like, why in a bonus chapter, Sarah, are you talking about spring court males with hard hearts and females with blonde hair and green eyes and their children who...
Well, to be fair, Flynn has orange hair.
Brown, I thought. Light brown, like
Let me double
Sathya,
check.
his sister. It's actually funny because Flynn has brown eyes in canon and green eyes in this bonus chapter. Fun fact, they changed colors. He changed his eye color like Sathya changed her hair
Tristan
color.
Flynn. Yeah. His hair color is inconsistent.
Yeah. And his eye color is inconsistent. He's a shapeshifter like Tamlin.
It is brown, but it's also an auburn brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is orange brown.
Mm.
Just saying.
Just
There is a possibility that a certain sister shacked up with a certain... Just saying. If we're in the land of speculation, of which I know nothing, purposefully for character reasons, unfortunately. I wish I knew more of the details. Truly, I do.
Yeah. I do not want to spoil you on the
I am so grateful to be along for the ride, though. Thank you so much.
Oh, cool. We have so many crazy theories. Like there's a deeper reason as to why we believe it was Tamlin and the sister and how they got there, but I don't think you said you've done the third Hofast yet.
But what?
You didn't do the third Crescent City yet?
No, not yet. We've just recorded book 2.
Okay.
We're still working on.
Okay.
Because I didn't book 3 come out only very recently.
Yeah. January, yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on. Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, because there's a very spoilery reason that gives way more validation to the Tamlin and Reese's sister theory.
Got it.
Very awesome with the whole portal thing.
I shall eagerly await that. Fingers crossed Tamlin comes back. Oh my god.
After you do Hofast, we're dragging you back and telling us that they're telling
I would love to be back for an update once I record. That would be amazing.
Oh my god.
Should we ask, in your opinion, and who do you think Tamlin's gonna get a mate? Should we talk about that one?
Yeah.
Or did we kind of talk about it?
Oh wait, no, we have done part 1 of book 3. That's why it sounded familiar. House of Flame and Shadow, yeah?
Yeah.
We've done part 1, but not part 2 yet. We haven't finished it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Starborn bloodline?
No.
Yet? Oh.
Like I said, there's only so much information I'm privy to,
that you're privy to.
Why do you think that Tamlin, aside from the Illyrians, was the only one that knew Nesta was a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because it was only Bellius and Devlon that called Nesta a witch until Tamlin.
He also has an Illyrian bandolier.
He did have the Illyrian bandolier from the sister. I don't think it was gifted from Reese. I think it was gifted from the sister as like a mating gift, maybe.
Personally, I think he recognizes a witch because he was terrorized by one growing up.
Amarantha.
That's fair.
That is fair.
That's simple. Fair.
Yeah.
Who else has magic enough to curse an entire court? A witch. Who's got
Yes.
death magic with
Nesta.
silver flames? A witch.
Nesta.
That's true.
Ooh.
So sadly, how does he know? Trauma.
Trauma.
Trauma. Hi. How much trauma can we fit into this blonde bastard? I don't
So
know.
much.
Well, let's find out.
Lost his sister.
My name is Tam.
Lost his mate. Lost a changeling. Who lost the female inner circle member who happened to be human and Farah's mother. Lost Farah. Lost Lucian.
I'm Tamlin.
Lost his court,
Dummy
lost
horse.
his respect, lost his job, lost his purpose.
Uh,
No, he's no longer the PTSD prince. He's the lost prince.
He's the lost prince. Oh, go, because you sparked that back into the mate thing real quick. Not Reese's sister, but going back to Briar. Part of my theory with Briar is that, I don't know if you know, but a while ago, before the books got super popular, SJM actually had a Pinterest board, and she would post multiple items on, an ACOTAR board or a ship board or whatever, and different aesthetics. And so one of the fairy tale aesthetics that was in her old Pinterest before she took it down was a reverse Sleeping Beauty. And my theory is that since Tamlin's kind of living in his beast form, he's not eating, he's not really living. I feel like maybe the only thing that will keep him alive is his tether to the land, but maybe he's going to be that reverse Sleeping Beauty. Maybe they won't be able to wake him up. And I do feel like Briar, aka Briar Rose, Aurora, hence the reverse part of this, will be the one to wake him up as his mate.
and she's currently in the winter court.
She is currently in the winter court with Vivian.
That theory sounds like a lot of fun.
I know.
I love the reversed storytelling aspect of it.
Yes.
I don't know how credible it is since we haven't seen Briar a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
And we haven't seen their interaction with Tamlin a lot since their initial one.
Mm-hmm.
It may come about, but I don't think personally it's been hinted at enough for me to feel that it's credible. It is cute though, and I do love it.
Well, I could tell you all my theories on Balthazar too, and he also only showed up for one scene, so.
That is completely fair.
I'm like, at least Briar and Balthazar were named.
This is at least they're yes.
So
At
it's
least
kind
they're-
of giving credibility because they were given names with meanings. Good.
Can we just, and I won't make this a big thing because I know how everyone feels about Tamlin, but
I can't. Okay,
I have to talk about it. So do you feel like if you had to pick a mate, or how credible do you think the Tamlin theory is? Because there's a lot of tell me about that.
Out of all the Archeron sisters, I personally feel that Tamlin would be best suited for Elaine.
Yes.
Gentle.
However, out of all the possible mates out there, especially with rise to the Resand sister bullshit, it's a hot contender, not gonna lie.
We want prequel. We want a prequel with Tamlin and Lauren so badly. You have no idea.
Look, I was a friend of mine had me convinced of Tamlin beforehand. Uh, I fully blame them because they specifically cosplayed as Elaine when we went to the Ohio Ren Fair, and I dressed up as Tamlin for
Oh my
funsies.
God.
When you think about Tamlin, they make
Oh no, I
sense. Like
froze.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Okay, froze. I'm okay.
Hold
They
internet. Hold.
they make the most sense, right? Because like their personalities, she's very spring court coded. The only hitch is that we love Lucian so effing much. And if my thing that keeps going in my head is like, is Lucian faking the mating bond with Elaine to cover for Tamlin? Because he knows Tamlin would never be allowed to be near her because of the inner circle in Feyre.
That doesn't account for all of the mate shit that Lucian feels. That doesn't really make sense to me personally, but
Plus, Lucian is a big booty kind of guy, and I bet Elaine has a big booty. She's part of the small itty bitty titty community, but she got a booty.
like
Okay.
Lucian was sitting there and he's like, touch her, smell her, taste her. Bleh. Like, I don't think he would
Has
debate.
its own zip code. That is it.
If Pharaoh was in his head, he wasn't faking that shit for anything. He wanted to attack her.
Oh God.
He's like, if I don't taste her right now, I'm gonna throw myself out this fucking window.
Oh my God. So, I personally did not think that Lucian was faking it. I do think, at the very least, if not mating bond, Lucian has very strong feelings for Elaine. At the very least.
He tugged on it.
I don't think Elaine. I think Elaine not responding or reciprocating could lend itself to the changeling theory.
Thank you. I think she was already Faye.
However, I also think because Elaine has always been a bit different, that nothing would truly cause her to be swayed. And I don't think that Lucian, in all his time around Tamlin, was ever taught how to court someone properly. I think our boy Lucian's got a shot. I think he's got a shot, but he doesn't know how to go about doing it right. Because all he knows is,
your hair smells clean.
Can I point something out about the Lucian Elaine thing? Which you guys are gonna be so sick of me saying this because I'm so on the illusion train. But and I've said
Is it?
Huh?
Is it the wooden rose?
No, it's not the wooden rose. It's the
okay.
It's the pre-cauldron thing. So Lucian first feels the bond before Elaine goes in the cauldron, actually. It's when the two guards grab her arms and they're dragging her to the cauldron. That's when it starts to stir in him. But if you pay really close attention, even though she doesn't say it, Elaine felt the bond first. Because when she comes out of the cauldron, she's immediately staring at him, drawn to him. She doesn't even look to Nesta when Nesta is thrown in the cauldron. She's too immersed in staring at Lucian. And then when Nesta comes over and is like, Elaine, 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 it says, Elaine stares over Nesta's shoulder at Lucian, whose face she's fully taking in. And then it's like, brown eyes meet one of russet and one of gold or whatever. And, you know, then he growls at the king and is like, don't just leave her on the damn floor. And he spell cleaves to get to her. But Elaine felt it first, which could be the changeling thing. Where because usually like the males always fail to mate bonds first, and they're always the ones that are kind of going more insane. And with Elaine, I feel like it would be more tamped down if maybe she was already Fae, or I don't know, she felt it first.
then that wouldn't explain all the different other mating bonds that you've seen between the two Fae, because Fae have pursued Fae before, and that would not explain, especially since she went into the cauldron, she became Fae. And just
Yeah.
because the males, quote unquote, feel it first, maybe that's just a societal thing of, oh, the males are pressured to act on it first. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the women can't feel it first as well.
Yeah.
However, both and forgive me for being wishy-washy or like wanting the best of both worlds.
I know.
Truly, I want Lucian to be happy, but I also feel that Tamlin is viable. Forgive me.
I just totally
But I also
don't.
feel that Tamlin and Rhysand's sister is viable. It's just like Tamlin said, he has had many lovers. Spring is about birth, renewal, fertility. Homie had those weird woad parties. That blue paint got in places.
There's only two.
You know what? Who knows? Tamlin might try and swing it and get some sister wives. I don't know.
There's only two main reasons why I don't see Tamlin, and these are literally like the only two main reasons, other than the Mama Archeron changeling thing. One is that I don't see him ever going for another Archeron after what Feyre did to his court.
Oh, he's scarred for life.
And two, knowing that he still harbors these familial, feelings for Lucian, I feel like he wouldn't do that to him.
He's too much like even hurt as he is, he's not gonna steal Lucian's girl.
Yeah.
If Lucian's like, hey, I like this chick, even if Tamlin's like, I kind of like her too, Lucian called. To put it bluntly, Lucian kind of called dibs.
Lucian called dibs. He's got the boss. Yeah. See?
And not to like say that, oh, women are property, because that's bullshit. But Lucian went to Tamlin and went, hey, I like this chick and I'm interested. And to Tamlin, at least in my opinion, that is good grounds for him going, hey, I ain't gonna try.
I mean, he did learn that Elaine was Lucian's mate at the High Lords meeting, because Eris tells them, I think probably just so that they know to kind of protect Lucian in a weird way. And he's like, and how's our little brother's mate or whatever? And Baron's like, yes, where is my errant son or whatever? So Tamlin was there and he was probably like, oh, his mate's an Archeron. Great. Great.
More trauma.
Lovely.
Haven't you taken enough? First my court, now my best friend?
Like, I wanted to know his thoughts when that happened, because I was like, what is he thinking now that he's like,
hide your dog,
dumped me at the altar and now the other Archeron solutions? Are you kidding?
He just can't catch a break.
No, he can't.
He's like, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your dog too, because they're gonna steal them too.
Tamlin's about to yeet himself.
Hide your lands, because they're taking everything out here.
Yes.
Tamlin's about to yeet himself through the Crescent City portal. Let me tell you.
He's just about to nope.
I'll live there with you, Lord. Fuck Prithian. I'm out.
Bye.
Okay, there's also a theory going around.
Words as he just falls back into the portal.
Love that. There's a little theory that I saw going around that I kind of gave a little bit of stock to, whether it's with Briar or not. But people were saying that, maybe there's a way, which some of it is a little bit of a Crescent City-ish spoiler, but also not really. People are saying maybe there's a way for Tamlin to become human. And that would be his happy ending. Because the Spring Court would go to another male figure, which we would probably see during the next arc. Probably more Spring Court people.
Ooh, what if it goes to Flynn? That'd be fun.
That's what I was going to say. So, I think Flynn would be the Spring Court heir. Or Rune, technically, if Rune is his child.
Well,
and if Tamlin...
Rune might have more... Since Rune takes more physically after his mother, he might have more in association.
Yeah.
But as the last living direct...
But if Flynn is his nephew...
It's kind of one of those like British royals situations
The
where
family
both have a certain amount of acclaim, but we don't know based on the hierarchy because technically speaking, Rune's a bastard.
Yeah.
So he might not be officially recognized. So it might indeed go to. No, that's a good theory. I like it.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
like it.
if Tamlin chooses to become human and does become a minstrel the way he wanted to, his little happy ending, then his nephew Flynn could take over the Spring Court. He would be away from his toxic parents and do whatever he wanted, and him and Rune could bond even more over their uncle.
Bang hot chicks at Calamai.
Yeah, literally. That's what they want.
They're party boys. Calamai is perfect for them.
Yeah, I'm like actually afraid that like Tamlin's gonna be human and Flynn's gonna take over Spring. And that's
So-
what you're setting up in the
all day, every day. Jesus.
Can we talk about your personal thoughts on where you think, like, if you had to guess where Tamlin's storyline would go, or no, or you don't want to do that one? Or
Yeah.
okay. Or like, what do you want to see happen for Tamlin as his voice actor? Like, what do you see as his happy ending, or where do you see Sarah taking him? And do you think he'll get his own book?
Ideally, I would love for him to get his own book because I would get to do a lot of the voices for it. So I'm hoping and praying he get his own book. As for where Sarah is taking him, she has alluded that there's more to Tamlin that in interviews. So fingers crossed. Personally, I think his story will end one of two ways. Possibly one of three now they've introduced me to the human concept. One, he becomes human, minstrel, lives his best life, and says, fuck you all, I tried, I'm out. Two, he regains his dignity, reclaims his court, and redeems his honor as both a man, well, Fae, and a lord. And people realize how badly he was misinterpreted. Or three, he dies.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
But he dies doing what he loves. Protecting.
Which
Protecting people in the Koshi War.
Mm-hmm.
Tamlin has to be healed by the time we fight Koshi because we need Tamlin and all of his forces.
He could
What
heart.
forces?
What forces?
What
You mean
I
the
know.
ones that drove
They're
us?
talking about his forces. I'm like, what forces? He doesn't have any forces left.
Not no
What are
more,
you talking
bitch.
about?
You
unless,
ran
you
him all
can,
off.
unless you can magic him forces. I mean, Nesta could technically magic him forces from all the dead people on his lands.
I don't think he'd like that,
He
though, because
wouldn't.
those aren't soldiers. Those are shambling corpses.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
don't do well when you say, go here, do this.
Right?
All they do is just
Yeah.
shamble in an orderly slump.
That kind of lends to the next question of what do you think his position will be within the Koshi War? Like, what do you think his part is going to be to play?
Wild card.
yeah.
He is a general, but he is not trusted and he has no troops. He is a strategist and he is a fighter, but he has no resources. So what's he gonna do? Guerrilla tactics.
Mhm.
I have a question, and it deals with Sarah's post in April, where she had a selfie from behind. She's wearing a Norwegian sweater, and she's around a lot of snow in April, and she says, going up north to draft the next book. Do you think that has to deal with either as more, or maybe just for a twist, just for funsies, Tamlin
And Briar, Winter Court.
and Briar, because she's in the winter court, he's in spring, but spring is in shambles and is pretty much going through a nuclear winter.
Mhm.
I, as much as I would love to, as much as I would love to, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? As much as I would love to throw my conjecture at the wall, I can't pretend to know where Sarah J. Maas as an author is going. However, I can really, really hope that my boy Tamlin's coming back in a big way. I really do.
Yes.
I hope
I would love to come back to the scene. Please, I've been out in the woods alone. It's cold and dark out there.
I have a really important-ish theory question-ish thing. I'm just gonna throw at you guys, which I think we've discussed maybe. Yeah, we have. So I was going over the mirrors between the Hybern War and the upcoming Koshi War. And so with the Hybern War, you know, they came in through spring, they trampled spring, and it was very spring court, destroy, whatever. So Koshi is kind of focusing in on the night court now. Because the spring court is so in shambles and people don't really want to have anything to do with it, and I don't really think Koshi would see anything valuable in a dead court. My thought was that along the lines of some sort of phase-and reconciliation, maybe for the war they have to hide Nyx. And my thought was, do you think at their very lowest they would try to hide Nyx in the spring court or with Tamlin?
I think it is certainly a possibility. It is the last place that they would look.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a dead court. There's nothing there. Why would... The only person there is a giant roving beast. But you want to know what beasts are often doing in mythology? They protect children.
I know. Thank you. Because
And what have I been saying that Tamlin wants to do?
protect children. I did a random art one day on my Instagram of Tamlin with a little Nyx in his court.
that was such a fun episode. Oh my God.
It was. And so we were discussing what, you know, Nyx's potential powers could be or whatever, and why, you know, there was trouble with him brewing. And so we said it would be funny if Nyx was just, you know, winnowing all over the place and happened upon beastly Tamlin in his desiccated court. And Nyx finds it very humorous to keep going back, popping back to the little beast in spring, because his parents get upset with him when he does that, and he finds it funny as a toddler.
It's a giant fluffy puppy with horns for riding. Why would I not pet fluffy puppy?
Exactly. So our little crack theory was that Nyx is going to like love being around Tamlin, and that maybe in the future, if Sarah ever does second gen whatever, because we have thoughts about that too, I think it would be funny if Nyx's mate was Tamlin's future daughter. I'm just saying, it would be nice for him to have a nice relationship with Tamlin growing up.
It's like that audio. I want to pet the puppy. It's bad. It's dangerous. Danger, Floof. You're going to go to the hospital. I want to pet the puppy. Fine, but you're taking yourself to the hospital. I want to pet the puppy.
To quote a meme, can I pet that dog?
And I could just see Reese and Farrah so beside themselves as to why their child.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Tamlin's like, I didn't steal your kid. I didn't steal your kid. I don't want him here. Please take him away. And Nyx just goes poof, back on his back.
So it sounds like, sorry, my kids are getting wild. I'm like, I might have to go soon. Unfortunately, this is like the best interview ever.
For 3 hours. I think I've unintentionally answered a lot of the questions here without you asking the questions, just from my rants.
We've blown his mind enough for today.
I know.
And
I
we
love that
just...
movie. Oh my god.
I'm concerned that Tamlin's redemption. Hey, you guys. I'm concerned that Tamlin's redemption is going to be like he protects or saves Nyx and thus healing the Phazand rift. I'm wondering if that's where she's what she's thinking. What do you think about that?
I've been championing Tamlin being a protector since day one.
Yeah.
If he shows Rhysand that he was always the bigger man by protecting his kid, that would just be icing on the fucking cake.
I want to really jump in really, really quick because I think it was my first ACOTAR fanfic like years ago was one where Tamlin dies, and actually it's like after Nyx is born, but it happens with this. But basically Tamlin realizes that Feyre is about to be killed, and he still jumps in front of her, and it ends up killing him. But he realizes that, or Feyre tells him as he's dying, that she's actually pregnant again. And so she's like, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? And he was like, oh, I knew. And she's like, okay, well, why'd you do that? And he's like, well, I know what losing my mother is like.
Don't make me cry, Melly.
And so when like he right? So like in the, so he like saves Feyre because he's like, I know what growing up without my mom is like.
I'm not crying.
So that's why he saves Feyre for Nyx and the unborn baby. And so like when he like dies and he becomes ashes and like it blows over the whatever, thornless roses grow up from where his ashes are. And that's, yeah. I don't know why I ever wrote that because it was so depressing, but I was like, I wanted to do like something where he saves Feyre, but it was like for Nyx, because he's like, I know what losing my mom is like, and I don't want that for him. Yeah.
Little heart. Little baby.
My
Nyx.
heart hurt.
I know, it's so sad.
Like, dude, like, if I had to say anything about Tamlin, it's just he has always wanted to do the right thing. And some of the methods he used were extreme, and he made mistakes, but who amongst us hasn't? And he is a story of, despite everything, still trying. Even when you're broken, even when you're defeated, even when you are despised, always trying to do the right thing. I think that's beautiful.
Do you think that Tamlin's, like in my mind, because I keep going back to the whole thing about where he's talking about his son and all of this in book 1, do you think like among the other possibilities, maybe we could end the series with Tamlin having his own children?
I don't know if that's in the cards. Tamlin's never been about family life. It's never been a central point to his character.
Hmm.
He's said that he would like to have a son, or eventually down the road, but I feel that it's never been central to his character.
Hmm.
I think to him, having children would just be one more thing for him to protect.
To worry about.
However, I do think that if he did have children, they would be the safest kids in all of Prithian.
We were saying he would be the best fucking dad in Prithian just because of all the shit he
House. They would have a tree house and go swimming in the starlight pool, catch fireflies, and
Play the fiddle for them to go to sleep.
Maybe Nyx can change his mind. Nyx can soften him a little. I want that.
That'd be adorable.
That would be cute. Who is your dream character to voice act out of anything?
Any character or just genre/role?
any character.
Any character.
Okay, I've got 2.
Ooh. All right.
One is a comedic role. I want to play, and one is a serious role, but they both involve the same dynamic power duo. I want to play either the toady of a villain, like with a ridiculous, either nasally or stupid voice, or an impressively regal and terrifying villain.
Oh my gosh,
I
we
want
need
to be
this right
Iron
now.
Man
Yeah, we're all
on that
writers here,
power
right?
dynamic just for shits and giggles, or in terms of character, I want to play a hero that refuses the call to action. I want to play a hero who's like
No.
born with bright blue hair, just nope, dyes it brown. I want to play a hero that is just nope, 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 nope. Just absolutely refuses the call to adventure.
I'm
I
already
love that.
mentally casting you as my villain now.
Bunch of my
He's
characters.
very sadistic though, but he's also a beast, curious enough.
I'm casting you as, well, they know. I can't really say because I don't want to give spoilers on my book stuff, but they know which one I'm talking about. Mr. There's blank daddy.
Yeah.
And then the prince, that guy. Liv, you like him.
I do like him. He would be a great actor for that character.
All of us are hiring you.
Yeah.
Ready?
Work, baby, yeah.
Are we on? I think we're on the last question.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask?
No, you guys do it.
Oh no. She's like, no, it's never gonna end. This is the
Are you kidding?
best
I could
day
talk
of
about
my
this for
life.
hours. If I didn't have young kids, I would be out here for like 3 more hours.
I know. We've done very long sessions.
You've got
Okay.
a lot of content to work with.
I'm so glad we got you on the Resand sister theory, though. I will literally send you everything that I have on that and the Briar
Please,
one.
I need a comprehensive deep dive. I don't have time to scour the internet. This is perfect.
This is why I put things in my like I have meticulous highlights on my profile of all of our theories. It's wild.
All right, my dears. I think it's time for the final question.
And it is
as much as I
time.
don't want to hear it.
What advice would you give to someone interested in voice acting? That isn't your parents' advice of don't do it.
My personal advice, when it comes to technical ability, look at what the professionals do and research proper technique, proper mic placement, diction, warm-ups. You can find that stuff wherever. My personal advice for someone who wants to try, you don't have to be scared. The only thing that is stopping you is you. All you need is a basic mic, a padded closet, and a book. And if you're stubborn enough and you are willful and obstinate and got a bit of a chip on your shoulder with something to prove, whether it be voice acting or whatever it is you want to do, grit and determination will outshine talent any time of day.
I love that. I love that message. Also, that gave me a lot of hope that I can finish my book soon.
Dude, of course you can.
I've been stuck on it for a while, but
Hey, sometimes you got to take a step back and look at the bigger picture.
I'm trying to look on the bright side. I'm like, I have 141,000 words written, so
That's huge. That's 10 hours of recorded audio.
That's a nice little comparison, actually.
Good rule of thumb, by the way, for you authors out there who want to get your books turned into an audiobook. Every 10,000 words, it's about an hour's worth of recorded audio.
Ooh, I love
Good
that.
to know.
I'm now going to
That's
write
good.
by recorded audio instead of work.
So, and before we have to unfortunately end this interview, I want to leave you with two things. One, and this is a painful lesson I have learned, comparison is always the thief of joy.
Imposter syndrome.
It fucking lives.
Oh,
And it is a bitch and a half.
yeah.
Because when you struggle and when you get to where you are and you're always looking ahead, you forget that where you are right now is where you dreamed of being. And sometimes you just have to take a step back and appreciate how far you've come. Like,
I needed
for
that.
instance, you wrote 100,000 words. Remember when you were just starting on word number 1?
Yes.
That's huge.
I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Celebrate that shit. But
Yeah.
also, I want to leave you with this. Melanie, Olivia, Beck, you are now all honorary members of the Spring Court. So saith Tamlin. Now and forever, High Lord of the Spring Court.
Oh my god. Yay! Applause. That was so
Henry, thank you so much for coming on our podcast and just spending, I mean, you spent 3 hours with us. Thank you for giving us your time, for answering our questions, and for being such an awesome guest, truly.
and for loving that we're crazy nerd theorists that didn't dive too deep.
Thanks for hanging with us.
How could I not love it? Y'all are amazing and wonderful and deserve all the love and support that I can give.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We can't wait. I will send you some of the theory things and I will send you the link when this is posted, hopefully on Sunday.
Fantastic. I'll share it as best I can.
Alrighty. Thanks again. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Henry. Have a great night, you guys.
You as well.
Goodbye and good night.
Bye.
Bye. Hello.
All right, let me get my booth lighting set up so I don't look like the ghost that I am.
I think we are all ghosts.
I'm
Yeah.
a freak of nature, pale in the moonlight like a vampire. Truly, boys.
I look so red. It's fine. It's all good.
Sorry I was late. I was making myself a half pot of coffee.
Oh,
Coffee is needed.
We were
It's
just talking about that. We're like, oh my god, should we make tea?
Sweet caffeine.
Ugh.
May the
Sweet
pain
caffeine.
get you through these hard times.
keep talking.
Fun fact, before we begin, actually, the Tamlin voice, that's actually closer to my natural voice than this is right now. This is my customer service voice. I used to work as a server in DC, and you know how crowds are. So my natural bass voice was too low, so I had to hike myself up an octave, so I was a tenor, and then go, "Hi, how are you? I'm cute, adorable, and slightly gay."
Did that help with tips, do you feel like? Like, were
Oh
people
God,
loving that?
yes.
Oh my God.
It helps. It helps that I was an adorable little bisexual who was skinny as a whippet, no muscles whatsoever.
I love
I
it.
looked cute in whatever you put me in. I worked at a taqueria place that had us wear gray jumpsuits, and I got us $100 in tips my first time working the register.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Employee of the month over there.
Dude, everybody got $10 cash to take home. I was the favorite.
Awesome. Me and my aunt always make fun of each other because, well, I've seen her at her job because she's the manager at my dental office, but every time she answers the phone, I was like, Emily, and like I make fun of her, and she's like, shut up. And I'm like, you're so fake. And she's like, you
It's
are
not
also
fake.
fake.
My friend, who is an actor and a therapist, actually gave me a bit of advice that rocked my shit. It's not that you can't be yourself around people. You have to look at it more of you just can't be all of yourself.
Yeah.
Some people, much like the
100%.
much like the phases of the moon, which I don't know if you can see that.
That's
Some
awesome.
people can only handle the new moon. Some people can take a crescent. Some people can take half, and some people can take full. And you
Oh,
just have
yes.
to find
Write
out
that
how
down.
much they can handle.
We're gonna live by that quote now.
I
Yes.
was going to say, did you know that we needed to hear that quote today? Literally,
Yeah.
all of us have been going through that. So,
They just
Hey,
can't
look.
handle me at my full moon. It's fine.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give you a crescent. I'm gonna give you a sliver.
I'm gonna give you a wolf moon. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, don't know if you ladies know though, but
yeah.
Halloween, baby.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Costume wedding at a haunted mansion.
Nice.
That's like a
Have
dream
any of
wedding.
you heard of Designer Daddy? Nephi?
Well, I
He
feel
does
like I-
these
yes.
ball gowns.
Yes, they do the Disneyland thing. Their whole family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
He made me and my wife's outfits custom work. He's a personal friend of the family.
Oh my God.
Wait, do we have pictures of this? Can we see this?
I have not revealed any pictures because I have not received anything from the videographer yet. They're still going
Ooh.
through.
That makes sense.
However, I will give you ladies a little sneak
peek. Yes.
Oh my God.
That's like dream wedding shit right there. That's amazing.
Okay. Let me know if you can see this.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Oh, that looks amazing.
They are the sun and I am the moon because they are the light of my life. And I had to be the one to convince them to be gold because they're like, no, I want to be the night sky. And I just looked at them and I went, honey, your favorite jewelry color is gold. You like to dye your hair blonde. Why on God's green earth would you not be gold on the day of our wedding?
We are not being night court right now.
Mm-mm.
On our
We are
wedding.
not.
Funny enough, it came out less Night Court and more Beauty and the Beast. I had the
I was
capelet. I had like the velvet blue. I had knee-high leather boots,
Oh my God.
Yes.
which my wife bought for me to go to the Ren Fair. And when they bought them for me, I promised them I will wear these boots at our wedding, and I fucking did.
Yes.
I
Okay, I have to see these pictures
I know,
now.
I'm like obsessed with it.
I will be releasing them to social media when we get them. The videographer, because they loved us so much, they were willing to double as camera crew.
Oh my God.
Nice.
And they didn't charge us extra for it.
Hey.
Even
Get
better.
Mhm.
Get it.
Like, we literally, my wife entered us into a contest with their production company because they've worked with the wedding venue that we chose. And when we told them that we were a Halloween wedding, they were like, "Oh, you guys win the competition. You're getting half off."
Because
Nice.
who doesn't want to do a Halloween wedding? Honestly.
I did.
My wife originally didn't want to do a Halloween wedding. I was the one who did it. I was like,
did it.
"No, babe, Halloween.
I did a
Trust me. Just
Halloween
trust
steampunk
me.
wedding.
Just trust me.
Trust me.
I did a Halloween steampunk wedding. Yeah.
Same
On the
anniversary, you
30th.
guys.
Hey,
All the
cheers
fun.
to never forgetting our anniversaries again. Up top. Plus,
Yeah.
there's
Every
always
year
a
we're just
party
gonna
going on.
post.
I never have to plan anything again.
Mhm.
Yep.
All I gotta
Easy.
do is go, hey babe, keep Halloween free. I'm taking you out. Boom. Done.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, are my levels too high? My gain was recently up from recording, so I can lower it if you need to.
No, it's fine.
No, you're good.
Me- You're good.
Keep going.
Keep going. Oh my god. Yeah. So now every Halloween we're just gonna post "Happy Anniversary, Eka and Henry,"
Yeah, we are.
because we're just gonna remember now.
I know. We have to celebrate it now.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, there's always gonna be a party going on. You know it.
Mm-hmm. Velvet for days. Velvet and cake for days.
Dude, my suit jacket is crushed midnight blue velvet with sparkles and a cape.
Nice.
Perfect.
Mine was like this stretchy almost velvet with like dappled like gold and silver. So it looked like I was both sun and moon. I looked like an eclipse, and then my husband was like a total eclipse. He wore like gold and black.
So, on a scale of 1 to comf, how comfy were your outfits?
Really comfy because I made them.
Fuck yes, we love that.
Yes.
Oh yes, creatives. All of us.
I actually have a story about when I was working on my wedding dress. I didn't realize that a rattlesnake got
You're coming in real garbled for me. Is that happening to anyone else?
Yeah.
And I was
Oh, no.
hearing this thing right next to the
Cool story, bro.
I would love to hear more of that if it wasn't also, oh dear God, the Wi-Fi.
Sorry, internet.
Look,
Better.
That literally got none of that except your expression.
no, I'm plugged in directly to my modem. I don't trust Wi-Fi as far as I can throw it.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been in training, bitches. Let's go.
Usually we have her sage the entire room she's in before
Yeah.
we film.
Are you also cursed by technology?
Yes.
I've found my people. Yes.
We were terrified all day. We're like, our Wi-Fi is gonna conk out. It's gonna be awful.
No, here's the thing. Now you got 2 people that are cursed, so we cancel each other out. So as long as the 2 of us are here, it's gonna be like, you know when you stretch a wire as taut as it can go? And as long as both sides just keep gripping, it's just gonna stay right there. As long as both of us are still on this call, on this side of willing, we will be fine.
You hear that, Eka? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
By the way, I do apologize if any of y'all took offense to bitches. I refer to everybody as
We
either
are
bitches-
not.
I'm
we are
queer
not
too.
Don't
I'm
worry.
bisexual, demi-aromantic, and I'm gender fluid, so it's all good.
We're
Hey,
all good.
I'm glad to hear that. I just want to make sure that everybody is comfortable when talking with me. I would hate to put someone ill at ease.
Oh yeah.
My goal is for everybody to come away from this making a new friend.
Yes.
We love that. That's great. And by the way, you should hear what we say.
Oh my God.
It's just as mild.
I mean, mild. I work with all guy cops. I'm a dispatcher.
So you already know.
I know.
Wait.
I'm very
Okay. My next question. Okay, because I used to be friends with the cops and slash dispatchers. What county and how far away are you from a major city?
I think we are Norfolk County. We're in Massachusetts. I'm in Massachusetts.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we're in Norfolk County. It's not a county-wide dispatch center. It's just a town-wide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, because I've seen some of the dispatchers out in the sticks, and they.
Yeah. I was holding back the fucks from every other word. I was like, I'm gonna be very good today. No, I'm good. I'm good. This is great. I feel better.
This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine.
Everything's fine.
Don't
Child,
pay
leave
no
that alone.
attention to the burning cities behind me in the background. Everything is fine.
Everything's
1,000
doing
yard stare.
perfect.
Oh God, why?
Oh my God.
DC is rioting.
Oh
Yes.
No one's happy.
The climate was not good on social media. No.
Oh my
I
God, my
literally have turned
donkeys are
off
being
all
down.
notifications. I am just the only thing I'm not posting shit. The only thing I'm doing is like, hey, this person in particular, because I saw your post, poke, you good?
You
You need
good?
huggies? Do you need a hot
You
chalky with
good?
maybe
Yes,
some
I
You
do.
get some starbs.
some Starbies?
Starbies. Me and
Fun
Olivia.
fact.
That was like actually funny story. That was like actually one of the first things me and Olivia learned about each other is that we both are obsessed with the cheese Danish from Starbucks.
Oh, you mean the forbidden thing that I can't have?
Yeah.
Why can't you have Starbucks?
It's not Starbucks. It's
It's the
cheese, honey. I'm
cheese.
lactose intolerant.
Wait a
I
second.
am
but I
too,
don't
but I
care.
eat it anyway.
I ate
I
it
was gonna
anyway.
say me too, and I just do it.
You
Just
see,
do it.
I would say fuck it, we ball, but then I'm literally doubled over in pain to the point where I'm dry heaving, and it looks like I'm performing an exorcism as I clutch my shirt and go.
Oh, that's always fun.
I have a little trick. I actually buy these like lactase pills on Amazon.
I've
I have them
tried.
for
I've
everything.
tried everything. They don't.
Doctor, give me a medical one. I want cheese.
The worst part is, I have family and friends who live in France.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh no.
And I visit them from time to time. And it's my hell week.
Jesus.
First it's heaven, then it's hell, and then I'm right back to where I started of just I am not worthy of the porcelain throne.
Oh no.
I know. You
This
know
is
what I used to
great.
do? Have you tried to take like 3 or 4 of them? Because I have, and like sometimes it'll help a little bit.
There are basically the way I look at it is because of the got milk. I overloaded my body on dairy when I was young, and that made it just like worse somehow. So now, if I want to have dairy, it has to be. I can only eat the good shit. My body will literally reject. I'm allergic to nickel, so that means I can't wear
I am too.
costume jewelry. That means I can't wear cheap. I have and like certain fabrics make me break out in hives. I'm a very delicate little flower.
Very expensive person.
I'm I'm an expensive baby, but that just means I have to be fancy. I have to. It's not I want to. I have to. My body
Right.
rejects cheap.
I would not be a cheap person.
Nev. Well, I mean, to be fair, them clearance sales at Joseph A. Bank are amazing.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bought a $400 suit jacket for $99.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
It was a custom-made, double-breasted gray jacket with an interior gray paisley in the shoulders and blue midnight paisley in the sleeves. The only reason it was on sale was because it was a 47 short. I'm a 48 short.
I'm 5 feet tall. I understand. I understand. I can't find
Nothing I find off the racks ever fits. So the fact that this
No.
was my size exactly, and on clearance,
That's the
and my
best.
cut.
It's always the best day ever when you find something that will fit you off the rack, because I literally have to get shit
Oh my
custom made
no,
all the time.
though to be fair, this has given me a very good relationship with my local dry cleaner and my local tailor. They know me by name. They gave me a discount on my wedding suit. One of my buttons popped off and they fixed it.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, I understand.
What are you doing now? It's your horrible match.
Did the match not burn?
Ah, I've gone through like 7.
You're so cursed.
Are you saging the room? Is that what I'm seeing?
I'm trying to like
For the Wi-Fi, just
It's another day.
I'm gonna pull that uncle shit from the old Jackie Chan cartoon. Umo gwig will fight so. Hop on one leg while waving around a desiccated lizard.
at this point, I think we need to try everything.
Yeah.
I need an old priest and a young priest, ideally one that looks like an old Hugh Jackman and a young Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why do you need
It's
them?
gonna work out. I've got good vibes.
Like, oh, so you need them for the ritual? What ritual? I just need an
What
old priest
ritual?
and a young priest.
Books, right?
I need them for
Oh my God.
research purposes.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. This is just
Now,
another.
when you're giving the blessings of the ointments, how tenderly did you touch the older priest's hand with the holy oils? Yes, go on. Remove those
Not Henry over
vestiges.
here writing his own book. That people would go feral over for that.
It just cut her all the way off. I'm dying.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to playing an Irish priest.
Oh, that's very good.
Holding back my... No,
Rogue.
I cannot say. It is forbidden.
It's forbidden.
Yeah.
Henry, if any of us ever get published, will you voice our characters for us?
Honestly.
First, duh.
Yes. God. Oh my God.
I
I was already thinking.
I've been in the booth like for half the day, and it gets real hot in here real quick.
Oh yeah. We can imagine.
Hi.
Back. Hi.
Well, apparently, right after I sprayed the smudge, it was like,
You thought.
Exercise the demons.
yeah, and they weren't going to go without a fight. And I'm just like, well, yeah.
I'm gonna have to spray smudge on my modem just to see if that works.
It does.
Shit.
It really does.
Oh my God. I love it. Oh,
This is just another day.
We're
We're like, it's gonna go so smoothly.
it's gonna go great.
Never.
Fair, like,
What could go wrong?
here's like a typical here's what a typical day looks like for me, like usual Monday through Friday shit. I have an agreement with one of my neighbors. I get up at 7 a.m. to make my wife coffee and lunch because they have to go to their jobs super early. I get up, walk the dog, walk my neighbor's dog, go to the gym, have like auditions / meetings. Once I make sure the condo area is quiet because downstairs neighbor has 2 kids. One of them's 4 and doesn't know about this cool thing called walking quietly. So from about after lunch, so like 1 to 2, I'll record until about 5 or so, and then the stomping begins. So
yeah. I have upstairs neighbors. The funny thing about them, though, is that it's not their child that does the stomping because he's like 14. It's them and their friends. They're like in their 50s.
Oh, girl, they're not stomping.
And they, no. Let me tell you, I know the difference. Their bedroom is above mine. Thank you very much. I know.
Here's the thing. Do they have pineapple motifs? That's all I'm going to ask. Do you know if they have pineapple motifs?
No, they don't, shockingly.
Wait.
They do have
Can
a
we
lot
talk
of friends
about
over,
this?
though.
Real quick.
Olivia's going to be like, what does that mean?
No, it's true. Okay, I read an article this week. I don't understand what is the pineapple motif. Or should we text about this?
Okay, no. So, a right side up pineapple was typically seen as a sign of prosperity and wealth down in the South. It was the symbol of hospitality and friendship and giving.
Okay.
However, certain cultures, swingers, have appropriated an upside down pineapple to mean more than just being friendly. And they'll have house parties and key parties and get-togethers.
Think of Helian's barge.
Like regular right side up pineapple in like a southern home, and I mean by southern, I do mean like Virginia on down. Right side up, yeah, it's fine. That's just it's all good, whatever. Upside down, girl, if you ain't packed the condoms and lube, you better run. Or
we have to corrupt Olivia a lot.
I am so glad that I have been educated because I feel like now I know what to look out.
Oh, there's a whole lot more than that, Liv.
There's
a whole lot more than that.
This is the tip
You're so innocent.
of a very weirdly dildo-shaped iceberg.
Yep.
Beck knows
think like Helian's barge, okay? Like, that's what's going on.
Pineapples everywhere.
Basically, oh, hold on. What was that one? Oh, God, I'm trying to remember. It was like, where was that fucking? It was one of the questions y'all sent me. Calamai. Basically, if they have an upside down pineapple, it's like calamai.
All day,
all day, every day.
The girls and I were talking, and I don't know what was wrong with me, but like when I first read about calamai, I was like, oh, it's just a bonfire with like lots of food, and like Tamlin's going to the cave. And then the girls were like, it's like a sex party.
Olivia.
And I was
like, oh, honey, bless your heart. No.
Girl. I love her so much.
Girl. Hot dogs. Kebabs.
I mean, there's certainly a lot of long meat slung around there. That's for sure. Pita pockets.
Poor Henry. He had no idea what he was coming into here.
Yes, he did.
Okay, but like the tidbits from this are gold.
By the way, you have my full and explicit consent to make a supercut of all this shit for the Patreon or whatever.
Yes.
I give full consent. This is
my God.
I'm having a ball of it.
That was my next question. Thank you.
Anything I say in an interview, unless explicitly stated, I am A-okay with having recorded, spliced, and put on social media. I'm an actor. I'm part of SAG-AFTRA. I get how this shit works.
Right? There's a lot of that shit slinging around. You should see that. It's like, oh, that's hilarious.
Hey,
is your Wi-Fi being non-demonic now?
I think so.
Good so far. I think we're ready to go.
Okay, ready to go. All right. Alrighty.
So before we start, real quick, Henry, are you okay with all the questions and everything?
I gave them a look over. Some of them I actually didn't have answers to because I was like, I haven't thought about this in years.
I saw that. We are just like, yeah, I'll be on shift.
This is the most comprehensive list of questions I've ever been given.
Because we're nosy ass bitches, that's why.
I love it.
Nosy ass bitches. We literally, like, this is just in our head all day, every day. I'm sitting at work.
Headcanons, crack theories, crack ships. You should see mine.
Ooh.
Crush series ships. Like, I sit at work at 3 in the morning. I'm like, why aren't they awake? I have another theory.
Because you live in Massachusetts and we live in Arizona, love.
And you're also not awake at 3 in the morning when I'm at work.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do graveyard shifts.
Does it pay more?
No. No, it doesn't.
If it paid more, that'd be awesome.
But I do get the added bonus of it being usually very quiet because it's just one town. So I can write my book and my fanfics while I'm. They have no problem with us bringing our laptop.
Okay.
So multitasking. So